Welcome in, buckle in, tune that grip. PHG World Series Season 4, let it rip. 4 wheels, hard lines, one more lap. Hear that chant, shake the whole room back. PHG, PHG, say it again. From the first green light to the very end. We came for the smoke, came for the pace, came for the chase, came for the race. So if you hear that roar in the back of your mind, that's the feel coming up on the inside. PHG, PHG, let it ride. Season 4, and it's ours tonight. Start, line tremble, gloves on tight, hands on the wheel and the whole room bright. Break points carved like cuts in stone. Every turn got a name of its own. Close draft breath in the mirror glow. One bad move and the pack swings low. Check that line, keep the rear end live. You don't survive here, you drive and drive. PHG in the chant, let it ring. Every lap got a hungry thing. Engine shout with a razor edge. We run that edge, we live that edge. Now the tension climbs. Now the gridlock's tight. Hear the crowd lean in. Feel that first turn bite. PHG, PHG. Stomp that name. PHG, PHG. We came for the flame. PHG, PHG. Shout it loud. PHG, PHG. Shake the crowd. Wheel to wheel, we don't back down. PHG, PHG. Take the crown. PHG, PHG. Right here now. PHG, PHG. Hear that sound. Lap by lap, we own this night. PHG, PHG. All fight. And a hard red stare. One late break and you're hanging there. Tiny mistakes turn into scars. Cut too close and you're seeing stars. But the pack keeps coming mean and fast. Every second feels like the last. Heat in the seat, no room to freeze. We move like wolves through the S-curve squeeze. PHG in the walls and the bones and the hiss and the crowd and the chrome tone. Say my name with the night on back. We don't drift off, we attack. Listen close. This is where it changes. This is where the calm gets stripped away. One corner, one breath, one heartbeat against a wall of engines. If you came for safe, you came wrong. If you came for slow, you stayed home. PHG is here. Season starts now. Shout it loud. Shake the crowd. Wheel to wheel, we don't back down. Take the crown. Right here now. Hear that sound. Lap by lap, we own this night. All fight. Let it fade, but the mark we made won't wash away. Season 4, still in your chest. First lap curse and the final test. One last cry, till the checker drops from the sky. We were here, you heard the call. We started all. Welcome to the grid, where the names don't fade, where the first turn shakes and the brave get made. PHG in the air, hear the whole room call. Season 4 tonight, yeah, we came to ball. Chrome on the nose and the tires scream. Every lap a test, every corner a dream. Legends in the lane with the pressure on. When the lights go down, we're already gone. PHG, PHG. Let it ring through the dome. Bring that fire to the track, bring it all back home. Drivers on edge, eyes locked, hands cold. One more shot at glory, one more story told. Helmet on tight, heart loud on my chest. Nerves like a wire, but I never rest. Grid full of ghosts with the title to keep. And the whole world waiting when the red lights sleep. Every move sharp, every line stays clean. Close on the inside, cut through the seam. If you want the crown, better hold legends don't blink in a high-speed race. Hear that shit now. PHG. PHG. Feel it shake now. PHG. One breath, one line, one chance to shine. No backing off, it's go time. The go time. PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, hear that roar. The legends race here, and we want more. Late apex pressure, I'm cutting it close. Paint on the bumper, I'm ghost to the ghost. They want my line, but I've been that raw. One hard pass and the whole room cool. Burnt out rubber on the edge of the fight. Every lap counts in the dead of night. If the pack comes close, I don't move back. I hit that gap like a clean attack. Hear that chant now. PHG. Feel it shake now. PHG. One breath, one line, one chance to shine. No backing off, it's go time. PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, hear that roar. Legends race here, and we want more. Yeah. Look at that lineup. Look at that pressure. This is where the fast learn fear, and the fearless learn speed. PHG, World Series Season 4. Not a warm-up, not a preview. This is the race. This is the run. This is where legends move. Take the signal, lock the pace. One more lap, one more chase. Hands stay steady, eyes stay true. Every rival pushing through. When the crowd all rise and the engine scream, we break the limit, we own the drive. PHG, let it ride. Legends race here, nowhere to hide. PHG, feel the flame. Season 4, we all know the name. PHG, take the crown when the lights hit red. We don't slow down. PHG, hear that roar. Legends race here, and we want more. PHG, legends race here. Season 4, we're live, we're locked, we're going.
Good evening and welcome to round 5 of season 4 of the PHG World Series. I am T Case. I am joined by Mr. Casual and Salamander over here. Before we get into anything, I want to say a big thanks to the 5 gifted memberships from our very own Pink Mish. Thank you so much for those 5 gifted. Well, here we are for round 5. Salamander, how are you doing this evening?
I am doing well, TKs. How are you, my friend?
You know, I'm doing good. Excited to see the chaos that will ensue inevitably here at Mount Panorama in multi-class racing. Mr. Casual, how are you this evening?
I just want to say thank you for welcoming me on to the AARP podcast.
To be fair, Casual and I are the same age. All right, everybody.
So apparently it's all about me.
And yeah, we will not mention the man behind the curtain, the proprietor running this broadcast. Please like and subscribe. So we got a lot of racing to get into tonight, but before we do that, we need to give a big thank you and shout out to our sponsors.
All right, SimNet Racing is focused on delivering high-quality, affordable sim racing hardware. highlighted by their SP Pro Load Settle pedal set, designed to provide precise braking feel, consistency, and improved control for competitive drivers. Built by sim racers for sim racers, their products strike the perfect balance between performance and accessibility. And don't remember, if you order from simnetracing.com, use discount code PHGGTWS for 8% off your order.
And our second sponsor is Paul Davis. With decades of experience in residential and commercial restoration, Paul Davis Restoration is a trusted leader in emergency services, water and fire damage restoration, mold remediation, reconstruction, and large loss recovery. Their commitment to professionalism, there we go, rapid response and customer care has made them a respected name across the industry. Again, that's Paul Davis.
Awesome. And next up, somebody I'm particularly hyped about, thanks to being the random winner of a 40 Racewear jersey, courtesy of 40 Racewear and the
Mhm.
Joker series put on by Salamander. We do have 40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoe and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. Use discount code PAPA10X for 10% off. That's 4dracewear.com.
And last but not least, we have MZW. MZW delivers high quality sim racing gear, including custom GT style wheel replicas and premium accessories built for performance, precision, and immersion, especially within the Fanatec ecosystem. You can find them at mzw-simhardware.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Now it's time to get into the nitty gritty. It's time to get into what these drivers have been working so hard for, qualifying during the week to get them into the splits. Mr. Casual, will you take us through the round info of tonight's racing?
Why, of course, we're at the Mountain of Pain, otherwise known as Mount Panorama, aka Bathurst. Race length is 60 minutes. For tires, we're on ×3 with the racing medium required. For fuel, you're looking at ×2 with 3 liters a second. And your cars of choice are Mazda versus Nissan. And that's GT1 and GT3, since this is our multi-class season.
So I hope everyone brought their earplugs, because some of these cars are gonna be screaming. Gonna be screaming indeed. And before we get into our splits, we need to hand the reins over to our tamed racing driver, Salamander.
Yeah, some say that he's a distant cousin of the Stig. Of course, we're talking about our own PHG, the Rozzy, who's going to give us a set of demo laps on just how to get around Mount Panorama here. So here we are in the Group 3 GTR, the Rozzy versus Bathurst. He comes around that final corner to the start-finish line. It's a short straight before we get into the 90-degree left-hander. A lot of trail braking to do on this one, but you want to try to maximize your exit speed, because this is the second longest straight on the course. This is going to be a good spot for all those passes to be occurring, both in class and out of class. As they zip on down here, they get to this little dip in the road, and then they're going to get to this right-hander up here where you want to make sure to trail brake heavy through here, make sure to carry lots of speed, get into the apex, and float all the way out to the curbs on the outside, but don't lose the rear end. As you come up here, you got this short little left-hander. You want to get off the throttle, onto the brakes, almost get the car into the slide coming around this left-hander here, where again, big chance to lose the rear end. As you're now heading on up the hill, you got this lazy right-hander. Don't hit the wall on the outside. As we come on through this little dip, you're going to let off the throttle just a little bit to get around this corner, and then onto the short little chute. before you again get off the throttle, probably no brake, as you come onto this little stretch all the way to the top of the mountain. Now to come down the other side, you got to be really careful on the brakes. Don't lose the rear end here. Hit all those apexes. You get onto the throttle hard. Down the hill we go. As we get into the sharp left-hander to the long straight, again, you want to keep that car under control. Control is the name of the game here, but you want the most exit speed possible because this is the longest straightaway on the course. Again, big passing zone for both Group 3 and Group 1. All the cars are basically going to hit their top speed on this straight. You come up this tiny hill. As we cross under the banner, you're going to get into this right-hand kink. You're going to have time to get the car settled down before braking in a straight line. That's going to be very important so you don't go flying off into the dirt. Tight little left-hander here, and then a lazy right, which again, you can lose the rear end if you get on the power too much. Under the Armor All sign, and then heavy braking zone into another left-handed 90-degree corner. Get on the throttle early, and that is a lap in the Group 3 cars at Mount Panorama. Now we're going to do it all again in the Group 1. We got the Mazda 787B, the screamer of a machine. We're going to do the same lap, only do it a lot faster and with some more downforce. Not a lot in the 787B, but quite a bit. Again, as we get through this first corner, you're going to want to maximize that exit speed. You're certainly going to take it a lot faster. And once again, you're going to get a lot of your passing done over those Group 3 cars. This is your last chance to do it before heading up the hill. So we're going to see a lot of bobbing and weaving going through here. Once again, we get on the brakes pretty hard, but you want to get off and trail brake real good as you get through this right-hander. Again, getting up onto those curbs, make sure you don't upset those Group 1 cars. Lazy little left-hander again on the brakes, get all the way down to the apex as you come out of this tight left and go high up the hill. Once again, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, all the way back to the left. Maximize as much of the track as you can. This is a skinny track, so you don't want to hit those walls. As you come up through here, the Group 1 cars may not even need to lift through this left-hander here as you head up towards the top of the hill. Once again, coming down, the Group 1s, you almost need to be even more careful not to lose that rear end as you zigzag down the hill, get onto this short little chute, and then once again into this tight left that's going to lead you onto the long straight. Right here, you want to get down to that apex, get on the throttle early, but not so early that you hit the Falcon sign on the outside. And now you're onto the super long straight. More bobbing and weaving is going to happen here. Group 3 and Group 1 all need to have their heads on a swivel to make sure that the passing is done with the utmost care. Once again, you're going to stay full throttle through this right-hand kink. Get on the brakes, definitely in a straight line. Trail brake through this left-hander and then get onto the throttle as early as possible to get you on down to the final corner. Again, a few passing opportunities here, but you want to again, brake really hard in a straight line, trail brake really quick as you come out of that fast left-hander, and that is a full lap of the Group 1 cars at Mount Panorama.
That was lovely stuff there from our tamed racing driver, and well done, Sal, calling that out. I know it's not the easiest thing to do, and you did a heck of a job. Mr. Casual, will you take us through our split one drivers?
Why, of course. So, our first race tonight will be Split 1, and at the top of the grid in GT1, we got S7R's Wood. Then just behind him, we have also, I believe it's S7R as well. Yeah, the True Serum. And then rounding out the top three is Flux Slayer in third. Then fourth, you have Beat Paps. Then fifth, we have our first PHG member, PHG Raider. Then in sixth, he's been known to show some pace. We got Jeffrey, so he'll be one to keep an eye out. And last but not least in GT1 class is MVR's Hot Fire. Then going to GT3, we have leading the way, some would say unsurprisingly, Jorge Sr. at the top of GT3. And then just behind him is S7R's Mr. Racing. Then in third, another S7R member, Hovercraft. And right behind him by 9 thousandths is does he say Naranjo? Naranjo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either or.
Yeah. Also known as Oak. So anyone who's not sure how to say his name, just say Oak, and it's a little bit easier. And then you have that's fifth. Moose in fifth place, and then first VIP representation in Cornbread in sixth, and also last but not least, we have Wicco down in seventh.
Wow, look how close that is. That's so interesting there. And that's qualifying. So, for those who don't understand the structure of this league, we qualify during the week. Drivers have 2 days.
Mhm.
They get one opportunity over 2 days to qualify, set their best lap time in their respected group car, and that places them in their split. So, we get a very
Mhm.
accurate representation as far as quali pace for the splits. Now, however, as Sal alluded to in our Rossi lap, i- it's not going to be that easy as far as
Mm.
passing, overtaking, especially lap traffic. Salamander, what are you? How? Yeah, I don't even know. What do you think?
I forgot
Right?
to bring my popcorn. That's what I'm gonna
Exactly.
say. It's gonna be a challenge. I mean, we thought we were gonna see some carnage at Road Atlanta, and the drivers did exceptionally well there. You know, going through the
Mhm.
S's and stuff like that. Here at Mount Panorama, it's skinnier and there's a lot more going both up and down the mountain. There's only like one or two passing opportunities, and they're very quick. So
Mm,
without those, the Group One drivers, unfortunately, are just going to have to learn to be very patient, both getting up and down the mountain, because there is plenty of opportunity to pass on those long straights where you've got the two 90-degree angles. Um, so yeah, it's really going to be a matter of just how patient the Group One drivers can be,
yeah.
especially when they have another Group One driver right behind them. It's like they're both defending and being patient at the same time. It's an oxymoron. I'm going to be really interested to see just how well these guys do.
Yeah, I agree, and I think patience is going to be the key. And not only when the two Group One cars are battling it out, but also when the Group Three cars are battling it out and have lap traffic coming at them. Casual, any thoughts with regards to strategy as we look to get started at this in this race?
All
Very
cars to
quickly.
grid positions. All cars
Oh,
to grid positions.
we got our cars
Uh,
getting way.
yeah, I think most people will probably try to do mediums. We might see someone try to ascend on the mediums and maybe do soft on the final scent. But yeah, it should be
Okay.
fun.
Well, as we have an S7R front row between Witt and the Trucer, and we got a rolling start here. A bit of an awkward rolling start. I'm curious as to some of those GT3 cars. Are they going to be starting in the corner as we hear the lights flashing? And yes, even the Group 1 cars are going to have to start in the corner. Unfortunate rolling start pattern as Witt gets cleanly off into T1, but you can see the True Serum under threat from Flux Flare. Ed B. Paps just behind with PHG Raider applying pressure as well. Drivers coming up the hill, and look, the pressure is on. Two different vehicles. We have Nissan versus Mazda as Raider goes up the inside, and we see a driver, Jeffrey, losing out there. What a move there by Raider. Incredible stuff there. Unfortunate for Jeffrey.
Got some damage.
And damage is there for sure. That is rough. And another car, perhaps pointed in the wrong direction. Chaos is ensuing left and right as we take a look at our GT3 drivers. Line astern as Paps gets back onto the track in last place. That is unfortunate. Salamander, what do you make of that start?
Man, that was certainly a chaotic start. Definitely going for some moves right away in the beginning. It looked like the Group 3 drivers kept everything all in order back there. Nobody got hung out or surprised by the accident that we saw there. But yeah, a lot of action right away early on in this race.
And it hasn't hurt Wade at all as he's about a 1.5 second gap now to his teammate, the True Serum. The True Serum has Flux Flare just over a second behind. And then Raider, who had that epic move on BPAPs, which we don't know exactly what happened, but BPAPs lost out. Raider in the Coca-Cola Mobile. And then we got NBR's Hot Air coming in a quite gorgeous Sony livery. Jeffrey just behind in P6. Sal, you are in the lobby. What are we looking at? Tires? Is it what Mr. Casual said? Mediums all around?
Yep, that's what I'm seeing. Every single driver is on racing mediums here, and it looks like B-Paps is really cutting his way through the field really quick. He's all the way back up to P9 when he was back in P14. So only has 2 more Group 3 cars to go around as he's getting around Mr. Racing right now. Just has Jorge left. He's probably going to get stuck behind Jorge for the way up and down the hill. So he's going to have to be patient, but certainly working his way through. Nice recovery.
We'll see. Very nice recovery. Great analysis, Sal. And you can see Jorge signaling, go on by, Paps, go on by. We're not racing each other. Great awareness from Jorge there. Mr. Casual, so you mentioned, you're expecting medium. Based on that start, do you see anybody possibly changing up the strategy, such as Paps or maybe Jeffrey, who lost out there?
It's like the only other thing you can maybe do is do hards, but I think you'll probably just lose too much time being on the hards. So that's why I was thinking everyone's probably going to be doing mediums, unless someone tries to extend their first stint to the point where they can make it to the end on softs.
Whew, and our buddy Oak getting so close to the walls. You can see Moose now applying pressure to S7R's hovercraft. A lot of GTRs out there. I believe it is a Group 3 field of GTRs. Leo is not in this race, so no one taking, or even Racer 51 sometimes would drive the Mazda as well, but Leo not using or not in this race, so we're not seeing that Screaming Eagle ripping around the track. But we did see some diversity in the Group 1s. Mr. Casual, what are your thoughts on the two? Oh, as we see Hovercraft losing it in the final chicane, falling back. Let's see what happened here as we have this epic view, and he's just late on the brakes, turns in, and a bit of contact. Wasn't aware of Moose there on the inside. To me, looked like a racing incident.
Yeah.
A bit of just not realizing you had a driver on the inside there. Unfortunate for Hovercraft there, Mr. Casual.
Yeah, it's nothing egregious there. It was just a bit of unintended contact there that on its own wasn't much, but since he decided to touch some grass, it was like it ended up being worse than actually was.
So back to what I was asking you as we ride on board with Wid in this epic Group 1, aka Group C car. What are your thoughts of the offerings between Nissan and Mazda in this category?
So between the two cars, the Nissan has more downforce and a bit more top end, whereas the Mazda, besides everyone loving this eargasm that it gives you, it is a car that gets up to speed quicker than the Nissan does. So it's like, that's why you see, I think you're seeing a bit more Mazda than Nissan, because last week we saw fair amount of Nissans last week at Road Atlanta, and we've seen quite a few Mazdas here, so I think everyone's going for the acceleration from the Mazda.
Yeah, with that long straight and these tight turns, especially going uphill, I can imagine. And thinking about the Group 3s, we only see the GTR here, Sal. When it comes to Group 3 race machinery, are you very familiar with this GTR?
Used it a bit. I actually used it a lot more back in the earlier days when the GTR was more meta. It's very well rounded. It's a good stable platform. It isn't the best car, but it is far from the worst. It's just very It's slightly above average, in my opinion.
It's like another Porsche if you think about it.
Right.
It's a good all arounder. You know, if you're not in top split, you can get away with it. If you're in top split, you probably want to use the Meta.
Well,
And
it's
I'm
another one of
never
those
in
cars
top split,
also
so-
where, once you learn how to get the most out of the car, it can be met. It is a very fast car. It's, again, like the Porsche, it's easy to drive, but it's hard to perfect.
For sure. And you can see as the cars start to get spread out, the Group 1 cars are starting their next lap as these Group 3 cars are just now getting up the hill. So within the next lap or so is when the chaos is really going to ensue. We thought it was chaotic at the beginning. It's
And
about to get more chaotic.
And
Go
a
ahead,
quick thank
Casual.
you to Mr. Joe Collins celebrating
Oh.
28 months of membership as well as a $20 dono. Let's go PHG World Series. There's no place like home.
There's no place like home. Thank you, Mr. Collins. We appreciate you, good sir. What a great member of the community. He's helped me out so much by taking my goofy little things and putting them into the right format so that I can make merch and put it in the game. We have my bearded dragon and a racing helmet like my logo. We have the bleach beard logo is because of him. The rainbow leopard. There's so much that I appreciate him doing for us, and I know he's helped out the rest of the community as well. So thank you so much, Joe. Jorge Senior, now still leading the way of the Group 3. VPAP still bringing up the rear, but you can see that 35-second gap now, and just behind is an almighty gaggle of Group 3. Jorge, though, in a league of his own, Salamander.
Yeah, absolutely. He's certainly been holding on to his lead. We have seen Mr. Racing in P10 has kind of caught up to Oak here. He's still a little over a second back, but he's started to reel him in. Moose not very far behind as well. But really, I mean, that battle between 9th, 10th, and 11th has kind of been the one to watch, at least back in the Group 3 category.
Indeed, and we ride behind Moose here. Coming up the hill, it's such a balance of throttle control. You really don't want to use the brakes. Sometimes you force yourself into the situation, or the tire wear forces you into the situation. And here's where it can all unravel. It's so easy for the back end to step out while you're under braking. You really want to try to keep the wheels straight. You can hear the squeal. You can hear the squeal. As he comes down into the left-hander, can he get a good exit here and perhaps get a run on Mr. Racing? Only time will tell. We go on to the longest straight of the racetrack.
Yeah, really coming down the hill there. Coming down the hill there, it is so hard to brake in a straight line. I mean, you're just constantly turning that you got to be so careful not to lose that rear end. Looks like these guys are doing it really well, keeping it together.
Cornbread 10 out of 10 on the livery. The GTR was the first car I attempted to do a livery solely because I knew I could make brake lights the eyeballs of my logo. And Cornbread took that in stride. As we ride on board, S7R's WID is going to be the first car to catch lap traffic. It's just a matter of time. He goes through this final chicane into the double left-hander. Yes, Mr. Casual.
I was going to say, looking at where all the other triangles are at, I was like, he's definitely going to have traffic going up the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, he ain't getting
There's
out
a lot of
it.
triangles. And if you don't know what we're talking about, look at the top right corner of the screen. There's these little triangles going around the track. That's what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the red triangle is WID, who we're on board with. He is now quickly approaching the first of many blue triangles.
Thankfully, there is quite a bit of space between Hovercraft and Cornbread, so if he can get around Hovercraft during one of these quick passing zones, he should be good to go and will catch up to Cornbread just as they get onto the long straight.
The going to be dicey here. How respectful. Yep. There's nowhere for
Yeah.
Hovercraft to go. Hovercraft cannot do anything.
Plus,
It
it's a
is a
teammate,
matter
so
of Wood. Yeah, it is a matter of Wood getting around. Great point. There it is, Mr. Casual. Teammates working together. That did cost Wood some time. It'll be interesting what the Truth Serum, who will be the next driver coming up. Truth Serum gets around no issues. Perhaps able to catch ever so slightly to Wood, Mr. Casual.
yeah. I imagine because I think it was like somewhere in the 6-second range.
Yeah.
And now it's down to like 4.5. So, while not ideal, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's better than causing an incident.
This is a tricky one too, because it's definitely flat out for both cars, but that's when you're on the optimal racing line. That can be very tricky. What are you seeing looking around there, Salamander?
Everything seems to be getting pretty spread out. You know, the fact that we've got Group 1 catching Group 3 is certainly still giving us some action. I'd say, you know, back in Group 3, we still have that, you know, P10, P11 is probably our best battle going on. All of Group 1 seems to be fairly spread out. B Paps has certainly been able to catch back up to the pack a little bit, but is still trying to battle his way back from that earlier incident.
All right, thank you so much for that info. As all the drivers on their first stints, no pit stops to be had, as we're almost a quarter of the way into this thing. Or I'm sorry, yeah, a quarter of the way into this thing. I can do math. Don't worry about it.
Don't ask questions.
P2 being held up by P13 here.
Oh, cornbread and a Truth Serum. What are we seeing here, Sal?
Yeah, there hasn't been any contact, but the Truth Serum unfortunately caught him just as they started coming up the hill, and has just kind of had to lay back and follow. Now that they're onto this short little stretch, it looks like he's going to try to get the pass done. He does slight bit of contact, but it didn't look like it caused much of any issue there.
Yeah.
And now look at that. Flux Flare was able to catch back up. You can see that gap between Wid and the Truth has grown, and the gap between Flux and the Truth has shrunk. And now he is looking to apply the pressure. So traffic is definitely coming into play here. You don't want to catch the slower cars once you get up the hill, wouldn't you say, Casual?
Yes. With the this particular track, it's not a matter of if you'll catch traffic, it's a matter of when.
Yeah, matter of when. It's going to happen. You're going to have to manage it. And this will also, you know, what kind of practice did these drivers put in? Did they practice with both classes, as we see Wade getting by Oak? Oak currently on lap 8. I imagine Wid is on lap 7 or 6. No, lap 9. You know how I can do math. I went the wrong direction. But you can tell just how quickly these cars are catching each other. Blue flags waving every which way as Moose applies pressure to Mr. Racing, and he's got faster cars behind. Going to be interesting to see here as we come up the hill. The track is narrow. The blue flags continue to wave. They know there's traffic. Who's going to try to get out of the way, or is everybody going to keep their head down, looking forward, trying to move up as we get too wide in the background between Flux Flare, choosing to go around a Truth Serum. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that. Flux Flare having no patience. We'll look at this again. You can see the Truth being held up by the 2 cars ahead. Nowhere to go, and that allows Flux up the inside. The Truth tries to turn in, but Flux is there, and there's nowhere else to go, and that has allowed him through. As this continued on, as Flux now into P2, the Truth Serum stuck behind Moose. Flux stuck behind Mr. Racing there. That releases both drivers. Flux ahead, giving him over a second gap. Now here comes the Truth. Epic stuff there, Salamander.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to be seeing this all race. You know, the cars, it's all a matter of when they catch them. We mentioned that last week at Road Atlanta. Wid seemed to be having all sorts of problems catching drivers at the wrong time. So just bad luck. You know, I think luck's going to play a little bit into this as far as just how often they get to catch it. It looks like the battle for P10 and P11 as Raider goes around also is on.
That allows Moose up the inside. That's beautiful stuff. That's one of the best parts about multi-class racing is using the other classes to your advantage. Let's watch this again. Look, Moose wants to go up the inside, but it's not there. But Raider opens the door. Mr. Racing cannot close the door on Raider, and that allows Moose up the inside. Classic multi-class, and what would we expect? Nothing less from the MMR proprietor, who's been doing quite a bit of multi-class sound.
Yeah, that was a really high IQ move by Moose there. And trying to figure all that out in real time is a skill for sure. Moose has done some multi-class in the past for his own series, so he's certainly got some experience with this, and it's certainly showing right there.
Indeed, but it's not over. Mr. Racing hot on his tail. They're in the same car, so no advantage. As we can see Wicco in the background, aka Banana, trying to make his way through. Wicco getting back into the racing scene after a bit of a hiatus. Good to see him back in the PHG World Series. An individual who I got to meet in real life, which was quite a treat at Circuit of the Americas last year. As you can see, the blue flags waving yet again. Cornbread bringing up the rear. Hovercraft just behind him. The battle for hashtag not last is on like Donkey Kong. And you can see the back end swirling. Let's see as we ride on board with Hovercraft. This is all about high in, low out, and there we go. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle from Hovercraft. That might have gotten the best of him there, Sal.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it. You know, it's all about applying the pressure, letting the other guy know that you're there, and kind of force them into making a bit of a mental error. And it looks like Hovercraft is playing some mind games.
Indeed. Oh, and a late move and a quick switchback and a bit of contact, but Hovercraft was there. He was present. Good racing by both drivers. Cornbread getting back ahead. It looked like Hovercraft backed out of this. Let's see here. In my opinion, I didn't see anything wrong with what Hovercraft did. Cornbread cuts back, and there Hovercraft goes. He is alongside, and you know what? Good sportsmanship. Did Hovercraft have to let up? That's a steward's decision, but I gotta say, good respectful racing from both drivers there, Mr. Casual.
Yeah, it was like a 50-50 there. If anything, I think stewards would have said Cornbread turned in probably a bit too early, as we see a Hovercraft going for it heading into T2 and seeing gets it done.
Well, yeah, I mean, remember, Hovercraft had that incident. He was, I think, 10 seconds back at one point. So, you know, if I'm Cornbread, it's the, you know, Hovercraft has closed that much time. It might be time to let him around, which I think is maybe what he did here.
Slight bit of contact, but we know, I mean, Cornbread has been holding his line with both Group 3 and Group 1. So it looks like good, hard racing, respectful stuff. As Wid, look at that gap, y'all. 15.5, almost 15.6. Fastest lap of a 1:48.749. Tires looking fresh. We are 41 minutes into this race almost, or 41. Oh my goodness. Give up on math.
And it looks like that big lead over Flux Flare. Flux hasn't really gotten away from the Truth Serum all that much. They're still kind of, he's really nipping at the slipstream here. Flux Flare up in P2, the Truth Serum still trailing behind in P3. One of our closest battles on track. They're still trying to, you know, the Truth Serum trying to see if he can get that spot back. Looks like Truth got 21. A little bit better run through that left-hander there. You know, has closed it down to less than a second now, although now coming around the next corner has kind of stretched it out a bit.
Yeah, they keep the yo-yo effect is real. The slinky is happening as they, you know, find the pros and cons of their driving styles around this track. The Truth Serum giving it all. I love the old school digital dash there. It's really sign of the time.
Yeah, I love this cockpit view going down the mountain. You really see what the drivers are seeing and what they're having to contend with.
Now, having had VR, or now that I have VR, I was watching the qualifying earlier, and my stomach was going up and down because I've experienced this in VR, and your stomach goes up and down going through that. Your body doesn't know or your brain is like, no, this is happening, until your body reacts to it.
Yeah, there's like literally no chill at this track.
No chill. And the straight isn't chill. It's not.
Oh.
Hot air coming down. I really am loving that livery. Good to see the NVR guys out here.
Watching this battle between Moose and Mr. Racing back in P10 and P11, kind of continuing to hold station. Again, it's one of the closer battles on track. They're again yo-yoing between like 0.9 seconds and 1.3. You know, Mr. Racing closes a little bit, and then Moose tends to get away in a different part. So I think they're both just kind of waiting for one or the other to make a mistake.
Yeah, I'm looking at their tire wear, like Mr. Racing's tire wear. That front right looks to be just under halfway.
And that's when you really start to feel it, especially on the final two turns, or the last turn and the first turn of this track.
That's where
really
those
feel that.
uninitiated with racing, you rely on your front tires for turning, and basically your rears are for like basically high speed stability. So if you don't got front tires, it's like you're basically the Titanic.
And Oak here, Oak here is kind of on an island of his own back in P9, which is good because he's got probably the worst tire wear of all the Group 3 cars. Not by much, it's only marginal, but his front right tire is just slightly worse than the rest of the Group 3 cars. So it's a good thing he's not having to try to fight anybody, because he would have a hard time with that.
Indeed. As we ride on board with him down the hill, a little bit choppy.
Yeah.
Coming around, but he gets through, avoiding the walls and doing his best to hold on to that. Being behind Jorge, that is P2. Not a bad place to be as we hop further back with Wicco. Battling to try to catch Mr. Racing, and they have another car just ahead of them of MMR Moose, who had gotten by Mr. Racing earlier on using that high multi-class race IQ. Hovercraft 17 seconds behind Wicco and only 2.1 ahead of Cornbread.
Fuel's going to be interesting. I see a lot of our GT3 runners are like either right at half a tank or just under, and yeah, it's going to be. I wonder if anyone's going to try to save some fuel on their second stint.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some refuels because we're not quite halfway there. We got just under 5 minutes to the halfway point. And you sure are correct there, Casual. I'm seeing a lot of less than half a tank of fuel. So the numbers don't add up. We're going to see some refueling in the second stint.
Well, and also a lot of these guys, their tires are right around the halfway point, and we know in here that the tires don't wear the same for the first half to the second half. The second half wears through quicker. So I don't think anybody's going to be able to get a no stop out of this. So they're going to have to put tires anyway. That putting in just that splash of fuel just to make sure they make it to the end and that they don't have to fuel save may help out quite a few.
As we see Wid trying to get by up the hill, he gets past Cornbread. Next up on the docket is Hovercraft. Should be able to catch him in it's going to be tight before it gets to the no passing zone. And Gandalf comes out and says, "You shall not pass." And that's exactly what has happened here.
Yeah, he's got quite the gap to Flux in second, 18-second gap at the moment. So works out well enough. But yeah.
Good use of the turn signal, letting wind know where you're going, allowing width through 17.4, 17.2. So clearly slowed him down from Flux Flare, but nothing to be nervous about. I imagine we see a lot of drivers go in the pits at that 30-minute mark. Wouldn't you say, Sal?
Actually, aside from that, I just noticed Hovercraft back in P13, he's got a half-second penalty and has some damage. I didn't catch where he would have caught that damage at, but certainly had himself an issue. Still ahead of Cornbread. Yeah, it looks like he already had it. Cornbread is now caught up and is right on the tail of Hovercraft. Hovercraft was pulling away, but must have had some sort of issue on the mountain.
So this could be a good opportunity to go into the pits, and he stays out and goes defensive.
Okay.
Interesting choice. Pressure being applied from Cornbread to go into T1. You can overtake here, but it doesn't seem like Cornbread really cares to. He's happy to stick behind. Perhaps he's not aware of the damage that Hovercraft has.
Yeah, possibly.
Well, the damage did heal, so it looks like that's over and done with. But that's probably the reason why he got caught up to him. Was he was having to deal with that damage through the long straight, and with front end damage, that's gonna hurt quite a bit.
Ooh, Flux is gonna catch them at the wrong time, Sal.
Yep, looks like heading up the mountain and two cars fighting for position. It's going to be especially hard to get around. Looks like Cornbread gives them some room, and around Flux goes. Flux has been able to kind of deal with this lap traffic better than some of the other drivers. I've been really impressed with him. I mean, geez, gets around Hovercraft there in another spot where that's not usually done. Now the Truserm's going to have to deal with these same two drivers, and he's going to be he's going to catch them on the downhill. And the downhill's probably even harder to get around.
Yeah,
oh, yes.
100%. 100%. We're seeing it right here. The Truserum desperate to get by. Every second behind them just is costing him time. As we see Jorge Sr., the first Group 3 car, dive into pits. And look at that. We're at the 30-minute marker. So I imagine we see quite a few more drivers start to come in as Kay Naranjo comes into the pits as well. And Moose. Anybody else there, Sal?
Wicco also came in, but it looks like that is the last of it. Hovercraft and Cornbread are still making their way to the pit road entrance, so we'll find out in just a minute if they're coming in.
Looks like Mr.
It looks
Racing
like they
went
are
through.
not. So they are going to stay on out.
That looked like a bit more fuel than needed by Jorge, but maybe he's just playing it a little conservatively.
I don't know if anyone's noticed, but it looks like the sun's getting a little low in this horizon.
Oh, track temperature is going to start cooling off here as we see NBR's hot air into the pits as well. He will be our first Group 1 driver into the pits, Sal.
Yep, and I will say Oak came out of the pits and has now got fresh tires and has caught up to Cornbread and Hovercraft, who are still battling. Cornbread just kind of pinched him into the wall there a little bit back in 10, 11, and 12. So Oak really wanting to get around these guys and not get slowed down, but the fact that he's on quite a bit better tires, but just so far hasn't quite been able to do it. Overtaking, especially Group 3 on Group 3, is going to be a lot more difficult. The Group 1s can get away with it if they time it just right. But Oak right now, superior tire, but struggling to get by.
Indeed, and that's going to be, you see the field they took on, fresh tires, medium, casual, called it from the start. That's the strat we're looking at. But at a track like this, strat is only so much. This track is so difficult. It is so demanding. As S7R's Wid, our race leader, into the pits, that'll be curious to see if Flux Flare comes in. But this battle between Oak and Cornbread is too good to look away.
Flux Flare just got into the pits.
Go ahead, Sal.
I was going to say Flux Flare dives into the pits just as he got around, I think it was Moose. Had to pass the Group 3 car who was kind of blocking the pit entrance, but he got his way in.
Ooh, that's scary. That's terrible when the other lap traffic is in the way of the pit entry. But good on Oak being patient. He understands he has the tire advantage. He wants to go around the outside of Cornbread. Can he make it happen? As we see the blue flags start to wave, so we know there's someone coming up, lurking behind. Further back behind Moose even. Can't tell who it is quite yet. As we see Mr. Racing come out of the pits. Moose behind Mr. Racing trying to go ahead. He had the advantage of having that full run out. And here comes P-Pap and P5 through the crowd as the battle up ahead. 3 wide, 2 wide. P-Pap has to be patient. What's going to happen as he wants to get through? Cornbread holding everybody. How did Cornbread get ahead of Hovercraft? We missed something there. Incredible stuff.
Ooh.
And now the ping pong effect comes into play as P-Paps desperately wants to get by Salamander.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was the wrong time to catch him, and somehow, shoehorned his way between or past 2 of the cars and between Cornbread, and somehow was able to make it through. Nobody spun out, no damage done, but man, that was some tight racing. Also, we were watching that battle go on. PHG Raider also went into the pits and got some fresh rubber, so he's back out on track, hitting the top of the hill.
The True Serum leading the way with Jeffrey just behind, less than a second. Jeffrey having a solid race here.
Yeah, the True Serum, Jeffrey, and B-Paps are the only ones who haven't hit in Group 1.
And here goes Jeffrey into the pit. So now it's just the Truth and B-Paps. As Wid inherits P2, Flux Flare should inherit P3 back. And Wid clearly catching the Truth. Looks like the undercut is the way to go.
And then back in Group 3, it looks like Cornbread and Hovercraft are the only 2 who haven't pitted yet. They are approaching pit road entry. Cornbread comes in, but Hovercraft stays out again.
Interesting. And this was the pit lane that everybody despised more than Road Atlanta. I think I disagree. But casual as we see excellent defensive moving from Mr. Racing as Moose desperate to get by, and it looks like he's going to perform the old switcheroo to perfection. Well done, Moose, on Mr. Racing.
Indeed. Yeah. Well, time to kind of go. Look like he's going for it. Of course, the defensive action that leads to the overtake on the after the turn.
We got a battle heating up with P4 and P5 here. P-Paps and P4 hasn't pitted yet and has some worn tires. He's got Jeffrey behind him. Looks like Paps got a little bit of distance right now, but Jeffrey looking to try to get this passed on soon.
Yeah, if Jeffrey's smart, if he can just be patient, we know that Paps needs to go into the pits, but it might be too damaging as they come onto lap traffic there, just ahead of Jorge Sr. Best place they could have found it. Go ahead, Casual.
Jeffrey's on soft tires.
Jeffrey's on soft tires. Very interesting. So he's definitely, you would imagine, we're going to have to pit again, Sal.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we saw the mediums make it a little, like, right around halfway before everybody came in. Let's see, we have 24 minutes left. God, he's either going to run those things down to the nubs or, maybe, I mean, we're seeing it get dark out. Maybe the cooler weather will help him last just a little bit longer, but that's a risky move. Maybe he's done his homework. Maybe he's just rolling the dice.
Well, Paps is on the medium still out there and having no problem as Wid has now caught up to the True Serum, who's also rocking those old mediums. So I think the Truth and Paps are going for the medium soft strategy, while Wid is clearly running the medium. So the Truth will need to pit, Paps will need to pit. That will allow Flux up and potentially Raider up a position depending on where they are come the
back
pit.
in P11 there was a pass. If we can get a replay of that, who was it? It was P7 Hot Air trying to get around Wicco. got into the back of him. Wicko, I don't think saw Hot Air coming up behind him.
Interesting. Looks very congested.
Looks like the replays may not be working, but man, it was a touch and go pass. He did get around him. No damage was taken. But scary moment there.
Ooh. Yeah, I can imagine. And now that we're getting into the night here and listening to these beautiful cars, it's no better time than now than to crank it up. Now that everybody's ears are finished bleeding, let's take a look here as we saw BPAPs go into the pits and now the True Serum into the pits. So all of the Group 1 drivers having pitted. Let's see where the True Serum comes out. Wid already in P1. I imagine Flux Flare gets ahead. But where will Jeffrey be, Sal?
So, you know, right now he is in P4 on those racing softs. He's got a ways to go. He's going through the kink right now before he gets onto the, you know, around the start finish line. I imagine the True Serum. Oh, that was a good save, but it looks like Truth is heading out right now. I think the Truth's going to come out in P3 and on softs. BPAPs also came out on softs after that late pit.
Interesting. So we were thinking medium, but now drivers discovering what they can do with the sauce as we ride on board with BPAPs here. MP6 ahead of NVR's Hot Air, behind PHG Raider. Hot Air on the mediums, plenty of fuel left as we are in the final 20 minutes now, 18 minutes to be precise, coming down this endurance race as Jorge is about to start lap 22, leading the way dominantly. 23
Got a
seconds.
battle for P11 and P12 with Wicko and Oak.
And that'll be the battle for the podium between Oak and Wicko.
Yeah, Oak was, I mean, he must have lost a lot of time when he got stuck behind those other drivers. And he's caught up to Wicko. He was behind a little ways, but all of a sudden he's right on his bumper.
I'm sorry, that is the battle for P4, not the battle for
Maths is hard.
It's you're telling me. You're telling me. We gotta figure out class, we gotta figure out time, we gotta figure out backwards time, laps. Y'all, I only have so many appendages, fingers and toes to count on. It's too tough. Start out by looking at where we are. So here with Wid up ahead, leading the way with a dominant performance, which we've come to expect from S7R's Wid. And you can see at night how just cool that car looks and sounds amazing. That would make you jump out of your skin if that came around the corner at night. As Wid pushing it, I would say you don't need to push it so hard, my friend. But he is on the racing mediums. He's pitted. He's got plenty of fuel. Lap 24 with a 20.5 second lead to Flux Flare. Flux Flare, NP2, now 21 seconds behind Wid and 6 seconds ahead of the True Serum. Flux Flare on the mediums, plenty of fuel, ready to go to the end as we're about to approach the 15-minute mark. The True Serum in P3, very nicely done on the racing softs, hoping in these last 15 minutes, can he close that 6-second gap and catch Flux Flare? Jeffrey also on the racing softs, a little bit less fuel, but looks like he's good to go to the end. 9 seconds behind the Truth, 9 seconds ahead of Raider. Catching lap traffic there.
Ooh, P11 and P12 like both went off in turn one.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Naranjo and Wicko, what has happened here? Tell us about it, Sal.
Yeah, they were going through turn one, and Wicko went wide, and Oak followed him. And then somehow Oak got the better of it and got around Wicko as they headed onto the long straight. It looked to be like they maybe just either misjudged it because it's getting dark out. This track certainly changes your perspective once it goes dark like this.
It really does. And you can see Raider now in P5, 10 seconds behind Jeffrey, 10 seconds ahead of BPAPs on the racing mediums, plenty of fuel to go. And just looking at the splits, I mean, we haven't seen too much of a shakeup. Jeffrey moving up a few places. Some drivers falling back a bit. BPAP's now on the racing softs, currently in P6. He had started P4, so drop back 2 positions. We did have a very chaotic start.
Yeah, I remember BPAPs was in last place at one point and had to battle his way back up. Now fighting. Certainly in that hashtag not last, has been able to make up some time after that early incident.
Yes, and now we have Hot Air, who did start 7th and is in 7th, so not going backwards is always a good thing. Keep at it. They are a new addition to the PHG World Series, from my understanding. and we are happy to have more and more people join us. Click or go to papashouseofgame.com to find out more about the PHG World Series as we ride on board with our Group 3 GT3 leader, Jorge Sr., with a commanding lead of 25 seconds. He started P1 and is continuing to be in P1. Moose, however, started in P12, is now in P9. Very nicely done from Moose at the start of this race to move his way up. And then we have S7R's Mr. Racing, who started P9, now P10, dropped down one spot.
Being hunted, I hope, right behind him.
Yeah, Kay Naranjo in P11 with Mr. Racing just ahead. Oh, and look at all the lights, like distraction. I can only imagine what this is like in real life. It has to be so challenging. But Kay Naranjo started in 11th. He's currently in 11th, but trying to get S7R's Mr. Racing as Flux Flare in P2 has caught him. He's going to have to be patient. He knows as soon as we get through this hairpin. No, he wants to get through, but Kay Naranjo holds his line. And there, Flux Flare through. Mr. Racing, hold his... Oh my goodness, that's so... Woo! That's sketchy style. That's sketchy.
Yeah, and then the Truth Serum, certainly caught up a little bit while Flux was getting a bit hung up there. But, it's one of those where the group, P10, P11, we're still battling. They have the right to battle. The Group 1s need to be patient. Flux Flare had, I think, just enough patience to get on by, but was losing it pretty quickly.
Very quickly. Now we're on with Wicco, MP12. He started P14, so Wicco has moved up 2 positions as we see more blue flags being waved. Anything standing out to you, Casual?
As we see, hovercraft went a bit too deep there, but it keeps it pointing in the
P11
right
going
direction.
for the move.
Oh, yeah,
P11. He gets it. It looks like he does. Hopefully we can... Oh, no, it's not over till it's over, says Mr. Racing.
Contact.
And Mr. Racing, I got to say, you were there. You deserved that spot. If we can see a replay, I'm not a steward, and I tend to side towards the aggressive racing, but that looked fair as fair could be to me.
Yeah, because he looked to be on the inside, Mr. Racing, and I don't know, it might have been some like lag / netcode involved in that one.
Fair enough. Yeah, we'll need to see replays from everybody's side. That's why the drivers need to save their replays. Hosts save the replays so we can compare and contrast. But from what we saw with our eyes, that looked like good hard racing to me. Cornbread again bringing up the rear, and his, I gotta say, the back of his car looks very trippy in the nighttime. Very nicely done. As you can see, the ghosts of the creature in the middle between the 2 glowing eyes. That's good stuff right there. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So we're now within 10 minutes. This is the final chapters of Split 1. Is it going how you thought, Sal?
It pretty much is. We've seen some good patience by the Group 1 drivers. We've also seen some really bold moves that have, fortunately worked out. This is Split 1. These are the most talented drivers we have in the PHGWS. It's actually been a little more aggressive than I was expecting, but there's actually been fewer incidents than I was expecting. So, good on all these drivers for putting on a show.
Yeah, and we say putting on a show. They're like, no, we're trying out here, bro. We're like, thank you for the great show you put on. And I fully relate to that in this commentary booth. It's like, drivers hate this stuff, but we're like, we love it. It's good. We see Jeffrey catching Moose up the inside, blue flags waving, blue lights everywhere. Caught him just at the right time. Now Jeffrey has some clean air. Doesn't look like anybody ahead of him for quite a while there, Mr. Cashwell.
Yeah, it looks like he's got some open track as we're on board with Paps, who's behind Wicco.
Oh man, this is slowing him up a lot, Casual.
Yeah, it's like he can't really do nothing about it.
Well, once he gets around Wicco, he'll have to contend with Oak and Mr. Racing, who are still close to each other. I cannot take my eyes off this battle.
He can't get by. He can't get by. Raider is now all over the tail of BPAPs. Wicco not doing anything wrong. Some could say he should get out of the way, but he's just racing his line.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of the track. And there goes BPAPs, and here comes Raider. Raider's gonna have a run. Raider's gonna have a run on BPAPs here. And BPAP's trying to warm up his tires, doesn't know where to go. And Raider thinks better of it. But I think on this next lap we might get something. What are you seeing with that battle for P11 there, Salamander?
Yeah, they're still kind of staying within 1 second of each other, but this battle that you guys are watching is coming right up on these two. So we're going to see two different close battles going on the same section of track. Luckily, they're on the straightaways, so they should be able to get these passes done, but we'll see if any of these guys use the Group 3 cars as a pick.
Oh, hold up. I mean, this is crazy. But we were just on board with Flux Flare, and he's already at red fuel, and we have less than 5 minutes as we see Raider and BPAPs get by. Can we go back on board with P3 and look at that fuel situation? Do you see him making it to the end there, Salamander?
Oh, God, with 5 minutes, I really don't. I mean, with that said, he's got 8 seconds to the car in front, 14 seconds to the car behind. He really could do a lot of fuel saving. You know, fuel map 6, do a lot of lift and coast. He's got the time to spare, but 5 minutes, I don't know. That's a long time to make this work.
Calm down now, Stig. Stig was like, Stig was saying how cool would it be to have 24 hours of this. I'm like, all right, sir, you need to settle down now.
If you want to do it, my guy, if you want to do it, by all means. That's my attitude towards pretty much everything. Like, if that's what you want to do, cool, man. I don't want to do that.
Just keep the kangaroos off the track.
And offended and hurt.
Shocked and offended and hurt. We see Raider now getting by. Look at that gap. Raider was all over the back of BPAPs earlier on with that almighty gaggle we had earlier. And now he's pulled away as hot air bringing up the rear of the GT1 cars.
Oak at P11 might have a run on Mr. Racing here.
Back on. Oh, and look at that. Oh, but it's at the wrong time. This is all about the time and place. Can we get a switchback? Oh, no. Oh, Mr. Racing says, you shall not have the space.
Well, I think Mr. Racing got loose there and had to correct. It looked like that got into Oak. That was a tough one.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It looked like he had a snap mid-pink there, which threw his car towards Oak there. So it's like a racing incident.
And
Hot air going to catch up to these two real quick as well.
Ooh, Jeffrey through. Just barely allowed through. Jorge Sr. dominating this Group 1, Wid dominating the Group 1, Jorge dominating Group 3, Wid dominating Group 1.
Hot air in P7 just got around Oak and is now trying to get around Mr. Racing. Mr. Racing not opening the door, which has allowed Oak to catch back up. Oh, hot air loses it, doesn't quite spin out, but he's having a tough time being patient getting up this mountain.
It's hard to do when you're in the faster car. You just let me by, man. But you got to remember they're racing too. They're racing too, and it's a big position here between P10, P11.
Less than 4 minutes to go. Nobody's given an inch at this point.
This is just hurting Hot Air, but to be fair, Hot Air is 21 seconds behind Raider. While this may be frustrating, catching up to Raider is a a tall order.
There we go. Now he gets him clear on the straight. But Oak going to try to make this slipstream work again. He's on the outside, heading into this kink. The outside's going to become the inside.
Woo!
Mr. Racing goes really deep.
Oh!
Well, he maintains the position. That was the last of the late breakers there.
That was impressive. That's not what I thought was going to happen, Sal.
Yeah, that was really sketch. If they both had waited, I mean, Oak kind of broke at the right time. Mr. Racing waited till later, which allowed him to get ahead. Had he not gotten that cleared, he would have pushed Oak off. So, lucky that they sorted it out. But Oak's going to just keep going at him. He's got multiple straightaways to try to get that slipstream and get by. But this is certainly the battle to watch on the track right now.
Oh, it's
going
not
for it
over.
again.
Oh, get some. Look at those brake discs glowing. Mr. Racing not having any of it, and look who's lurking in the background, Mr. Casual. Wicco,
Yeah.
and we know what he's capable of.
Yeah, he's hoping this continues because I think this is, this. No, I'm debating on, like, is this their last lap? I'm like,
It's gonna be darn close, yeah.
yeah.
Or no, they'll get one more. This will be the last lap for Flux for sure.
But yeah, you wouldn't expect this close racing on such a chaotic track, but here we are.
And is he gonna make it? This is the final lap. Does he have a lap of fuel remaining in that tank?
He's got to
see
lift
the
and
bottom.
coast as much as possible.
Yep. And he has plenty of gap. Podium's locked in as long as he can make it to the end.
I should be able to, because
How's Jeffrey looking? Jeffrey's not looking any better.
yeah, no, not really.
Jeffrey's
Look
not
at his
looking
tires.
any better.
Those racing softs are almost dead as well.
Oh my goodness.
I just noticed that battle for P10 and 11 that we were watching. Oak has eaten up his tires a little bit more than Mr. Racing, which might be contributing to the reason why he's having such a hard time getting around him. But Mr. Racing is certainly driving very defensive, certainly closing the gaps. He doesn't seem to be doing anything wrong, but he's certainly making it as hard as possible for Oak here. And Wid is right on the both of them as well, our leader. Luckily catches them at the right time.
Yep, he gets by both of them, no problem, no harm. Also starting to flash red, but we know this is the final lap for our race leader.
Yep.
That's the Trucer in one more lap. Flux Flare, I don't know, is going to get around for another lap. This might be it for Flux. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Papa says he'd stop because he doesn't want any more. I agree. That's going to be it
Yeah,
for
and
Flux
he is
Flare
done.
and Jeffrey. And that's going to be it for Cornbread, rounding up the rear of the Group 3 cars.
Checkered flag. Checkered flag.
PHG Raiders. So the battle for P11 and P10 is going to be on like Donkey Kong. This will be
Mr.
their
Racing
final
has
lap.
stretched it out just a little bit. He has a second. Yeah, he's got a whole second and only a few more turns left to go. Wicco started to close the gap, but I think has run out of time to be able to catch them as well. Oak's got one last chance to use the slipstream here, but with 0.8 of a second back, might be too much to ask. We'll see.
Jorge Sr. across the line for P1 of Group 3. Then we have Moose and S7R's win. So Moose to win it all. Very nicely done. Dominant performance. Moose will be across the line for P2 of GT3. And then S7R's Mr. Racing across the line ahead of K. Naranjo. The True Serum is somewhere in the background, P2. should be coming across the line. There he is. Well done. Well, that was great. I enjoyed that.
And Hovercraft's the only one left back on track, and he has also got very little fuel left.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
But he's into
done.
the last turn. Looks like he is just going to make it.
Okay.
Nicely done,
Ooh.
drivers.
Ooh-wee.
Let's go. With pole position and victory. Oh man, Salamander, will you take us through our race results?
Absolutely, sir. So in overall P1, we had Sector 7's Wid taking us across the line in first place in that Mazda 787B. In P2, Sector 7's The Truth Serum, also in a Mazda. P3, we got Flux Flare. P4, we have Jeffrey. P5, we have Raider. Top fives are all the Mazdas. P6, we have B Pabst, who overcame that early incident. And then in P7, we got NVR's Hot Air rounding out the Group 1 cars. In P8, we have Jorge Sr., the GTR Nismo. I believe all of our Group 3 drivers are in the GTR Nismo. Moose coming across in P2. S7R's Mr. Racing in P3 with a hard contested battle with Oak in P4. Wicco P5. S7R's Hovercraft in P6 after also having an early incident on track, moving him to the back. And then Cornbread coming in P7 in our Group 3 class.
Very nice. Very nice. Great first race. We got one more race coming at you. Before we go to break, we need to pick our drivers of this race. I'll start with you, Mr. Casual.
I was like waiting on who to go with. I'm like, I think I'm going to go with Flux. Yeah, with my choice in that one. It's like I could play it safe and pick like our leaders either Wid or Jorge. But I was like, you know what? Let's be a little bit different. So my pick for this race is Flux Flare in third place in GT1.
Good choice. Good choice. How about you, Salamander?
You know, I'm going to go with S7R's Mr. Racing in the GT3 class. He spent a lot of time having to do some excellent defensive driving to try to hold off Oak, who was certainly on a tear, and was able to do it masterfully. So my driver of the race is going to be Mr. Racing.
Awesome. I'm going to also go into the GT3 and pick Moose, who started P12 overall, moved up into those podium positions. So I'm going to say
Solid.
MMR's Moose. He had some great racing. We saw him use that knowledge of using the faster car to allow him by, which was very good. So we are going to go to break, and then we will come back for splits 3. So don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Poll in the chat. Please vote, and we'll let you know who the driver of the race was.
Don't go anywhere.
Be right back, don't move! PHG World Series, Season 4!
Watch the lanes, hold the line.
One more lap, then we fly.
Engines fading in the hall, hands still shaking from the call. Tires hot, the clock stay mean. Every split cuts clean.
PHG,
PHG,
hold that roar in your chest. PHG,
PHG,
we're coming back for the rest. PHG, PHG, stayed alive.
PHG World Series
Will return.
in stride. Hey, we're almost there.
Hold your line, hold your fire.
PHG in the air.
Season 4, take it higher. Higher, higher.
Pit lane, open wide, tires fresh, hearts alive. Fuel up, lock and tight, we'll be back in a minute's time. Grid map, clean and bright, gloves on, set for flight. Keep that spark in view, the next green flag's coming soon. Hands up, don't drift away, we're just on a short delay. Eyes up, stay with the ride, we'll hit that track on the other side.
PHG, PHG, be right back with me. PHG, PHG, keep that energy. PHG, PHG, feel that heartbeat rise. PHG, PHG, we're back in a flash tonight. Curbs cut, apex call, heat is thick and the pace won't stall. Crowd sound, wave by wave, every lap got a name to save.
Blue flags, clean pass through, fresh rubber, nothing to lose. Stay tuned, don't fade out, we're almost ready to scream it out. Hands up, don't drift away, we're just on a short delay. Eyes up, stay with the ride, we'll hit that track on the other side. PHG, PHG,
Be right back with me.
PHG, PHG,
Keep that energy.
PHG, PHG,
Feel that heartbeat rise.
PHG, PHG.
We're back in a flash tonight. Yeah. Keep it locked. You know what time it is. PHG World Series Season 4. When we return, it's full send. No chill. Just wheels.
Don't go far. Stay where you are. Drums roll, spirits climb. We're crossing back in perfect time. PHG, PHG,
Be right back with me.
PHG, PHG,
Keep that energy.
PHG, PHG,
Feel that heartbeat rise.
PHG, PHG.
We're back in a flash tonight.
Hold that tear,
Keep it near.
PHG is here.
We're back. We're back. Be right back. Don't move.
Disaster transforms your home into a place of chaos, where everything that could go wrong does. This is the world of Paul Davis Restoration, where our experts are ready, trained, and equipped to restore your home, to make things right. Paul Davis Property Restoration Experts. When things go wrong, we do what's right.
Stride. strapping. Feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hat pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 4D, 4D. It's different. Yeah, that's winning. Grit in my voice, baseline under my breath. Glove print stamped on the wheel like a crest. I don't just play, I live it. Every stitch says, get it. From the couch to the checkered, I'm the storm when I wear it. 4D in my veins. Different. It's different. Yeah. 4D racewear. Let them feel you drive.
And we are back. Welcome back, everybody. We had an excellent first race. I am TK. I am joined here by Mr. Casual and Salamander. Welcome, gentlemen. We closed out our poll with driver of split one being Moose. Sal, quick reflection on the race there.
Yeah, it was action packed. I mean, we had an awful lot going on. I mean, as we expected, we saw Group 1 drivers getting stuck behind the Group 3s going both up and down the mountain. We saw some epic passes go on in places we weren't expecting. So really fun to watch.
Indeed, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thought it was a lot of fun. And Mr. Casual, we're gonna see you dive into the split three race here. Be our man on the inside, if you will. Your thoughts as you frantically go and get everything set up.
Yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing it. Oh, I guess I could. So, nothing like some pain and misery, as some might say.
Some pain or misery, or maybe it's going to be the best Friday night you've ever had. Only
Maybe
time will
so.
tell. Well, speaking of good times, let's take a look at our sponsors because they are all a good time. Here we have our first sponsor there, Salamander.
Yes, so we have SimNet Racing. SimNet's focused on delivering high quality, affordable sim racing hardware, highlighted by their SP Pro load cell pedal set, designed to provide precise braking feel, consistency, and improved control for competitive drivers. Built by sim racers for sim racers, their products strike the perfect balance between performance and accessibility. You can find them at simnetracing.com, and if you use discount code PHGGTWS, you can get 8% off your order.
And our second sponsor is Paul Davis. With decades of experience in residential and commercial restoration, Paul Davis Restoration is a trusted leader in emergency services, water and fire damage restoration, mold remediation, reconstruction, and large loss recovery. Their commitment to professionalism, rapid response, and customer care has made them a respected name across the industry, and that's pauldavis.com.
Indeed. And then again, once again, and again, and again, and again, thank you, 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racers. designed for sim racing by sim racers. The 4D sim racing shoes are custom engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe and still provide all the comfort needed for those double and triple stints. Visit 4dracewear.com. Check out the original racing gloves for your feet. Check out 4dracewear.com. Use promo code PAPA10X for a 10% discount.
Then we have MZW Sim Hardware. MZW delivers high quality sim racing gear, including custom GT style wheel replicas and premium accessories built for performance, precision, and immersion, especially within the Fanatec ecosystem. You can find them at mzw-simhardware.com.
Awesome, awesome. Big thank you to our sponsors so much for supporting us through all these endeavors. I see you're wearing your 40 racewear jersey there, Sal. Excellent
Absolutely.
to see that repping. Let's take a look at our round info for those who missed the first round. Sal, take us through what these drivers have in store for them.
Sure. So here in round 5, we are at Mount Panorama, otherwise known as Bathurst. This race is going to last for 60 minutes as a 60-minute endurance race. Tires are set to 3 times tire wear with racing mediums required. Fuel is set to 2 times with a 3 liter per second refuel rate. And of course, this being multi-class, we are running GT1 and GT3 as Mazda versus Nissan. So we got the Mazda screaming machines with the guttural Nissans in that R92 and the GTR. Really exciting watching these guys battle it out here at Bathurst.
Indeed, and let's take a look at what our splits are. Mr. Casual, I believe we'll have a little bit of a shakeup because we have Leo Las Vegas running on a Mazda here and a few others in the group 3.
Yeah, so starting with GT1 at the top of the field, you have Corridor. Then in second, Leo in his natural habitat, being in the Mazda. Second. Then Johnny Boy in third. And then fourth, you have Skellington, aka Jack Skellington. Fifth is Fernando Button. And then sixth is Wether Dan. And since I'm going to be participating, I'll be in the open slot down in the back for GT1.
What car? The car?
I'll be using the Mazda.
All right.
So that's your GT1. And GT3, we have Nuke leading the way for them. And Drosky can't make it. So I think we're supposed to either have K-Dub. Okay. K-Dub is the replacement. And then in third is Amarillo Dash. Then in fourth, you have Tommy Turismo. Then fifth is Robo. Sixth is Metal. And seventh is Nasty.
Interesting. We got some Mazdas in the group 3 entry. We got a good mix of GT1 entries as well. Mr. Casual being one of those drivers.
Yep.
Gonna be good stuff. Mr. Casual, you need to get your head down and focus on racing.
Yeah.
Sal, what are you thinking here?
Well, I'm really excited to see some different cars in this one. We got a couple of R92s. We got a couple of those Mazda RX Visions. So this is going to be a fun one to watch. Another quick fact here. It looks like Johnny Boy has recently started making that transition from controller to wheel. And this is his first league race running the wheel.
Okay.
So keep an eye on him to see if he's able to live up to his normal expectations or if he's going to struggle a little bit. So he's going to be a fun one to watch, see how he handles the wheel.
Yeah, it's definitely a transition now, Mr. Casual. You're on controller.
Yes.
I imagine you haven't done a ton of practice here. What's your
No.
strategy going into this race, based on what we
Oh,
saw from the first stint?
probably just see what the fuel situation is going to look like, and probably do medium. I was like, if I had to say, because I have no idea how long the software would last. So I'm like, and plus being on controller users have more tire wear, so I'm like, probably better and safer for me to do a medium.
Medium. Interesting. Well, we're going to get everything underway here for the final race of this evening. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. Papa's doing an excellent job behind the scenes here, running this broadcast. A
Mhm.
like, a sub would go a long way. This is going to be interesting to see how these drivers work it out. Split three is always an interesting one to me, Salamander. What about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's definitely a wider disparity in talent back in Split 3, so we'll see how these guys handle it. Looks like we are getting out onto the track and ready to get this one underway. As you mentioned in that first one, we got that split and this weird start where the Group 3 drivers pretty much have to make it around that corner by the time the race starts here, but here they are underway.
Yeah, not only Group 3, but some of the Group 1 are going to still be in the turn. You can see further back. And here we are, go. One driver definitely still had his wheel turned to the left. But here we are, corridor. And no surprise, Leo in P2. He's a sneaky guy, but it looks like everyone getting underway. Not going to lie, a little disappointed with the lack of livery in split 3 here. Oh, okay. My mistake. It is due to Gran Turismo and PD and their way of being. These drivers do have liveries, unfortunately. They are looking to us as default, but Corridor keeping the way with a big snap. Leo just behind. And we have Johnny Boy, Jack, Fernando, Better Dan, Mr. Casual. Mr. Casual, can you
Yes.
report to us?
Just trying to keep it pointed in the same direction. But so far so good. A little bit of damage, but that was my own.
Where did you
so
pick
far,
up
so good.
that damage?
Understeered into Rob's wall. So sorry, Rob.
Oh, and further ahead, I think that was P5. Jack Skellington getting the move on Fernando B. Very nicely done, round the outside. But now Fernando tucked in and getting a bump from Better Dan. Bump drafting, trying to catch up to BK2, Johnny Boy, and Leo. Everyone working together, Sal. Oh, as we see, Jack goes wide. Unfortunately, not able to get it slowed down. Let's take a look at this again, and that is not what we want to see. Oh.
Gran Turismo doing Gran Turismo things. Well, if there's anything positive to say, it happened on lap 1.
Yeah.
We weren't halfway through the race.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
All right. Well,
And-
we're going to go ahead and try to get that restarted and see if we can get ourselves back in there.
Oh my goodness. What it
And shocked and offended and
offended and hurt. I'm shocked. I'm offended and hurt.
See, this might have been that we can't have a commentator racing. This is PD's way of saying that that's an unfair advantage to some effect. And
goodness.
that's the way it is. So, all right. Well, we'll wait for Papa to get the lobby restarted, and then we'll see if we can get this underway. But in the meantime, that first lap, Mr. Casual, you said you were trying to just keep it pointed in the right direction. Do you think one lap is enough to prepare yourself
Like
for an
I would
hour-long
rather
race?
I would rather have some temporary damage than spin out. So I was like, it's not the worst thing in the world getting some damage. Uh, self-inflicted damage, but I was like, yeah, I'll take that over spinning out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's one of those. It actually looked to be a fairly clean start. I did see back in I think it was 11th and 12th place, Nasty and Metal had gotten into a little bit going down the hill. I think Metal ended up getting just a little bit of damage, but they were other than that, everything had been kept fairly clean on lap one. So,
Mhm.
who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
these guys got all their jitters out of the way, and now when we get this back underway, they can get through it with as if they've been racing for an hour already, keep themselves all
Right.
pointed in the right direction. But, it gives the Group 1 guys a little more time to think about
Ooh.
being patient. Give them a little exercise in patience right now. We got to wait to get this going again. Take some deep breaths, maybe go do some yoga, and,
Woosah.
we should be back within a few minutes once we get these glitches out of the way. Let's see if we've got a new lobby. I'll get myself in there so I can help keep track of what's going on.
Okay.
Believe check the Discord, the
Mhm.
PHG World Series
And room
channel
ID
should
has
have
been posted.
new room
Yep.
ID. Yep.
Yep.
There we go. Looks like we're getting some people back in already.
Oh, what you sipping on, Casual?
That's just some Lipton.
Ooh, Lipton. Way to go.
The Lipton iced tea.
Oh, peach. Peach tea is so good. I've been hooked on some strawberry lemonade. This is my
Okay.
strawberry lemonade summer.
Okay. Yeah. There's like a diet pineapple mango flavor one. So those are the two
Ooh,
flavors I usually do. So I
yeah.
just alternate. Like I may be on the case of the pineapple mango, and then once I run out of that, I alternate to the peach.
Yeah, change it up. I got hooked. I was in Target and they didn't have what I needed and I was leaving and there
Mm,
was this gorgeous sign about mango strawberry lemonade
ooh,
energizer refresher.
mm,
Oh my!
And I got it, and it
wow.
is the best thing I've ever had. I've had it the last 3 days. It's so good. Hashtag not sponsored, but there's real strawberries. It has caffeine, so it's a strawberry mango lemonade with caffeine with real strawberries,
Hmm.
and it's so good.
Okay.
Oh my
Interesting.
goodness. It's like
Huh.
$10, but it's really good.
It does sound very much like a summertime drink. I mean, this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
that this is that time of year where you get all of your fruity drinks,
Mhm.
your pineapples and your
Oh yeah.
mangoes and your passion fruits all going and
It's
sit
essentially
outside.
the walk from your car to
Mhm.
Target makes you sweat, and there's a
Oh.
Starbucks inside Target. So for South Texas, that's what it is. It's like,
Sure.
I'm gonna be drenched in sweat to go to the store. I better get that and I imagine where you are, Sal, in the winter, it's like, I'm gonna be bundled up and risk frostbite to get into the store. They better have something good.
Well,
And
it's
that's
funny. I mean,
exactly what it is.
way up here in Minnesota, it gets really humid. So even on days where it's like mid
Mm,
80s, we're kind of the same way. Just the walk in from the parking lot will get you sweating because it's a wet heat, not a dry
Yeah,
heat. So we
yeah,
kind of get it both. We get the
mm.
super
yeah.
super cold where you're right. You have to bundle up in like 3 layers just to walk in from the parking lot, and then we've got the sweat it all out. Just being outside for any length of time at all. So
I
we're in this unique case where we've got it all.
we need to do you come here in August and I go there in January and compare and contrast. I think
Well, so
that would be a funny series we do.
I think the thing is that if you're not prepared here, you'll die faster than if you're not prepared there.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
You'll freeze to death pretty quick if you.
But
I mean, when
I
it's
think
minus
you-
30 out, it's
I think you
frostbite
can
within like a minute.
find. You could probably find things to warm you up there, shelter and
True.
everything,
True.
All cars
before
to
you could
grid
find
positions.
something to
All
cool you
cars to
off.
grid positions.
All right, looks like we're getting this thing back underway.
Let's do
Take
it.
two. Take two of
two.
split 3.
All right.
We got liveries. We got liveries. Leo and the
Nice.
tool. And the tool mobile. All right, on
let's
board
get
with
this thing
corridor.
underway.
Good luck, everybody.
Mhm.
Leading
luck.
the way again.
Keep it clean.
3, 2, 1, go. And it's on, much cleaner getting through turn 1. Leo now applying the pressure to corridor.
Looks like back in
Leo.
GT3, everything nice and nose to tail.
Nose to tail, nose to tail. Leo on the racing softs. He's on the racing softs, changing it up, trying to take advantage of this first lap. Can he get by corridor? Only time will tell. Mr. Casual, back in P5, what are you seeing?
I'm seeing wheel spin by myself and the back end of Jack Skellington in 4th place.
Fourth place, and then behind you, you have Fernando and Wether before we get to the Group 3.
Ooh, P10!
driver.
Oh, almost spins
Oh.
out. Big slide. Tommy Turismo, he gathered it up, kept it in the right direction, but big slide coming up the hill.
It's
We watch this.
had a big
Goes around the
incident
corner.
with myself.
There he lost the rear end, just slides back and forth, and then the wall actually saves him. No damage
No
even, just
damage.
kept it going.
No
But man, that
damage.
was tricky.
Ooh,
There
but
was a big old incident at the top of the mountain, basically between me and I forget the names, but 2 others. We basically made the top of the mountain parking lot for a second.
and a little bit of contact with the wall just behind Jack Skellington with Wether. Fernando B in P6. Mr. Casual has dropped down to P7.
It looks like everybody back here keeping
new.
it pretty clean.
Leading the way in GT3. Keep going there, Sal.
I was just going to say, everything GT3 actually getting fairly spread out here on lap 1, short of that incident with Tommy Turismo. K-Dub, coming in relatively cold to this race, staying glued up behind him. So, they certainly have things together back here. But yeah, up in the front, you can see on the track map, big gap between those first and second drivers and the rest of the GT1 crew after that pile up at the top of the mountain. Looks like it had gotten cleared before the GT3 drivers got there, which was good, but certainly spreading things out early on. Let's see, big battle going on between 5th, 6th, and 7th. Jack Skellington, Fernando Button, and Mr. Casual here. All nose to tail. Mr. Casual getting to the wall just ever so slightly. Fernando doing the same on the next corner. Casual with the run, backs out just a little bit. Thinks better of it. As they spread out a little bit as they crest the hill this time. They don't want to repeat of what happened on the last lap. Looks like Corridor and Leo, have certainly broken away. They've got pretty much a 10-second lead over the next group in, Wether, Johnny Boy, Jack Skellington back there. But yeah, I mean, really that battle is the back end of the Group 1 class. With 5th, 6th, and 7th, Mr. Casual all over the back of Fernando Button, trying to get around on the long straight, trying to use the slingshot effect. He's got a little bit of a run. Not sure if he's going to clear him in the braking zone. He does. Starts to get it slowed down. Does get it slowed down.
Whoa.
Pass. Gets the pass
Casual.
run over Fernando Button. Way to go, Mr. Casual.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was thinking about trying to outrun him initially, but I figured he was going to be in Jack's slip. And once I saw Jack had moved to the left-hand side and he didn't initially follow him, that's when I decided to make my move.
Interesting insight. Interesting insight. Very impressive. You know, Leo doesn't show up for a GTWS race without having put some practice in. So I am not at all shocked at Leo all over the back of a defending NRL champion. Leo knows what's up when it's time to be here. And love to see our Leo Las Vegas showing up in the Toolmobile. Going
Yes,
purple
absolutely.
even.
Better Dan there, all by
improving.
himself there.
Yeah, go ahead, Sal.
I was saying just all by himself on a bit of an island there between P2. He's got an 8-second gap up to Leo, but is broken away from the rest of that pack behind him with BK2 Johnny Boy back in P4. But 4, 5, and 6 still, that battle is on. Mr. Casual all over Jack Skellington. Fernando Button not very far behind him either. So 4-way battle in Group 1. Mr. Casual getting the run, getting around Jack. Looks like he is going to have him cleared before the end. Very nice exit there, getting to the bottom of the hill and making that run work. Let's see if Jack's going to fight back. He is not. Thinks better of it. Casual going a little deep, got in the back of Johnny Boy, just the slightest of taps. Was able to keep it ahead. Jack also must have had something going on back there as Fernando gets by both of them.
He just got too much on the brakes, but look at this again. He couldn't quite get it slowed down and just trying to get control of it as Casual runs wide, which allows, I mean, is he Fernando or is he Moses? Because he's parted right there.
They definitely did. I think Mr. Casual with the big distraction over Jack Skellington, who noticed him going off and he overcorrected. And yeah, Fernando Button able to just cleanly go through those two drivers. Well done to take advantage of the situation.
And S7R Nuke still leading the way of GT3 cars. He's got Amarillo Dash quite a ways off of him, 2 seconds there, or just over 2 seconds. But Amarillo Dash ahead of Metal by 7 seconds. So things seem to be pretty spread out in the GT3 category, but GT1 still seems to be on, but we haven't gotten that lap traffic as we're now 7 minutes into this race, Sal.
Yep, and it looks like Mr. Casual got his way past Fernando Button already, so reclaim that P5 spot. Jack Skellington's fallen back a bit into P7. But still within sight of watching Fernando try to get caught back up to Mr. Casual. But you're absolutely right. Back at GT3, they seem to be getting all spread out, but GT1 still seems to be where the fight is on. I think within the next probably 2-3 laps, we're going to start seeing the leader corridor get caught up to the back of this GT3 field, and then things will really start popping off at that point.
Yeah, that's how it is looking for sure, as Leo trying to catch Vetterdan. Not sure what happened there, but Vetterdan now up into P2. Very impressive considering he started at the back of the Group 1 category. Very nicely done from Vetterdan on the racing medium tire.
Yeah, it looks like the gap is still about the same, 10 seconds back.
Yep.
So definitely something happened to Leo there that caused him to fall back. We were watching all that other action in the back of Group 1. But yeah, missed what happened to Leo here.
Casual, what are you seeing other than the back of BK Johnny Boy?
I think we're all starting to find our pace now. But tires should be pretty warmed up by this point. But yeah, I think we're all starting to find a rhythm at this point.
And it's looking like it as we ride on board with you. I'll do my best not to distract you, but it looks like you're running smooth, using all the track there, trying to hunt down Johnny Boy. Obviously, this isn't the time to pass as you run a bit wide there. Oh, on the brakes. Oh, and it was, I'm sorry. I take full responsibility. Everyone, commentators curse. That's on me.
Yeah. broke a bit too late at the top of the mountain, so that's what ended up happening. But glad I didn't hit Johnny Boy or get in Fernando's way.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose the rear end as you start coming down the mountain there. If you're carrying too much speed, you lock up those rear tires, and you know, like we just saw with Mr. Casual there, around it goes. So, you know, live to fight another day. We still have over 50 minutes left in this hour-long endurance race, so a lot of time to catch up. Tough luck for Mr. Casual early on. Back up closer to the front, Leo had actually caught up to Wether Dan here, was right on his bumper as he goes, a little wide in turn one. That's going to cost him quite a bit of time. He was still within 1 second, has lost a whole nother second going wide there, but looking to try to make up some time on whatever that early mistake was. Looks like he's trying to get these early race jitters out of the way so he can get himself into that rhythm that Mr. Casual was talking about. He gets a little squirrely trying to get around that second turn, but again, keeps it gathered up. Oh, but Wether Dan having a problem up ahead and is super slow, allowing Leo to go by. Not quite sure what happened there. Let's see if we can catch a replay of it. Wether Dan coming up. We got the replays working again. The technical crew back on things. He comes off, and the back tires just spin up. It looked like he was going straight. Probably felt that he had the traction, and the back tires just gave out and pluck it around. That allowed Leo to make the easy pass.
That looked me out of the second Joker lap yesterday. Just getting on the throttle too early. I was like, I braked perfectly. I was like, I nailed this Joker lap. And then I got it on the throttle, and Tati called it perfect.
Yeah, it's one of those with these high-powered cars. Even when you're going straight, if you hit a bump, those back tires, there's so much torque going on that they spin up really easy. Certainly worth it to run with traction control, but even that sometimes doesn't save you. As we're back on board with Mr. Casual here, still trying to track down VK2 Johnny Boy, who once again, as a reminder, new to the wheel here, seems to be putting in a halfway decent job maintaining that T4. As we jump on with Corridor, our leader looks like he is about to be catching lap traffic here very shortly. It's probably going to catch him right at the top of the hill. There's a possibility could get around. It really depends on the timing here. They come around the really slow corner. Yep, they're warning the other drivers that he is coming. The Jaws music is playing at this point. Yeah, they're coming up. There's going to be the straightaway. I don't think he's going to quite be able to get around him. He's going to catch him right at the time where they're going to start going down the hill. And there's not going to be anything he can do but hang out behind him. Yep, that's exactly what's happening here. And Corridor wisely backs out and just kind of tucks him behind Nasty. He knows it's only a few corners. It's costing valuable time, but it's only a few corners. Nasty getting loose. Oh, wow. And that allowed Corridor to get around when he otherwise would not have been able to. So a bit of a gift for Corridor coming down the mountain there. Leo now on his way down and should be able to catch up once they're on the long straightaway. Wether Dan's still 1.4 seconds back. So still well within sight. Not quite in the, actually, no, the yo-yo effect has happened. Wether Dan starting to close in a little bit. That slipstream should help. A full second back probably isn't going to catch him on this long straightaway. But if he can stay tucked in behind, we'll eventually get him. But looks like Mr. Casual right on Johnny Boy. Much more in the slipstream. It's definitely, look at that closing speed. Going to go for the pass as they come into the kink. Be careful in the kink here, guys. Goes ahead, gets around, off the grass, get on those brakes, gets it slowed down a little deep, but definitely gets the pass done on Johnny Boy. Good job there, able to get that done. Perfect use of the slipstream on the long straight. Now they're stuck behind Tommy Turismo as they go through the left 90-degree corner and across the start-finish line. I think they're both going to get around as they come into turn one. Mr. Casual trying to break his way on through there, gets through it just fine and gets a nice exit. Starts to pull away from Johnny Boy quite a bit. As Fernando Button now coming up behind on Tommy Turismo. Maybe going to use that slipstream just a little bit to close that gap to Johnny Boy. But Johnny Boy got that 2-second gap. everybody doing fairly well. Using the slipstream, using those other cars to get around. I'm impressed with what these drivers are doing so far. A couple of small incidents, but otherwise they're managing it plenty well.
Yeah, I'd agree. Casual, talk us through that. Sound made it sound all easy peasy, but I'm sure from your perspective it was not.
Yeah, I kind of clipped the grass a little bit after that little kink. So I had to be a bit careful, but it wasn't nothing I couldn't handle, thankfully. But yeah, it was a good battle with Johnny. Doing fairly well since he's getting acclimated to the wheel. But yeah.
What are you finding the most difficult? We saw you struggle there through the Falcon hairpin. What are you finding most difficult for you? You are on controller, and we see Johnny Boy
up in
pressure.
What was that? Up at the front there, we had Wether and Leo just had an incident getting by some lap traffic. See if we can catch that. I think, yeah, we had K-Dub up here, goes wide in the Group 3 car. Leo coming up right behind him, lost the rear end, which allowed Wether to zip right on by him. Woo. One of those, again, GT3 car is a bit of a distraction. Wether there to capitalize. That was crazy.
Yep,
got around.
You saw Leo. It happens so often. The car in front of you goes deep, so you go deep because you're kind of relying on them for your braking point.
Yep. I mean, it's either that or what looked like happened in that case was that Leo overcorrected to try to make sure that he didn't get hit while K-Dub was trying to do a rejoin and ended up losing the rear end in the meantime, and it cost him just enough time. And K-Dub up here still having more trouble going up the mountain in front of Mr. Casual. Mr. Casual getting passed uneasily, and so does Johnny Boy right behind him. But K-Dub, certainly having his hands full, keeping that Group 3 car underneath him. You can see he taps the wall just slightly and gets into a bit of a slide, which costs him all sorts of time. He does thankfully get out of the way, allowing the two Group 1 cars to get around well before they start going down the mountain, because that is the super tricky part there. You don't want to be compromising anybody's corner at that point.
No, not at all. It's such a tricky track to do what you need to do for yourself, but also not ruin it for other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've talked about before the track being so skinny and so few passing opportunities. It's a bit of a blessing that the Group 3 cars have gotten so strung out that's going to make it a little easier for these Group 1 cars to get by. We don't have incidents where Group 3 cars are battling and, holding up the Group 1 drivers even longer than they normally would be. We're on board with Metal here back in P10. He's got a 14-second gap to Amarillo Dash up ahead, and then a 17-second gap to PHG's K-Dub behind. Another 5.8-second gap to PHG Nasty back in P12. Not sure what happened to Tommy Turismo, who's now back in P13. He was hanging out with some of those other guys up near the front. I think he was ahead of K-Dub at one point, but appears to have fallen back, is now currently in P13, 19 seconds off of PHG Nasty. The Corridor still leading the way, healthy almost 10-second lead, as it looks like he was just dealing with lap traffic and got around, I think it was Nuke there, and now seems to have a lot of clear track ahead of him. He'll have another set of laps before he's going to catch up to more lap traffic.
I mean, very nicely done. Wow. I mean, incredibly done. Wether moving his way well up through the field. No pit stops, of course, have taken place, but Leo on the softs. We imagine at 39 minutes in, or 29 minutes in, we would see something here.
Well, we certainly saw in the first race, the drivers who started on the racing mediums went 40 minutes and were able to pull 20 minutes in those racing softs. We are reaching the 20-minute mark, and Leo, surprisingly, still had some tire wear left, but it looks like he's going to come into the pits now and opt for the racing mediums and see if he can make it the rest of the way from this point. Pretty much the opposite strategy of what we saw in the last race. We'll see if that works out for him.
One stop from Leo onto the mediums, or maybe even the hards. He's not feeling super comfortable.
Well, the racing mediums are required, so he has to use them at some point. You know, either that or he goes to another set of softs just to make up some time and do a two-stopper. But I don't necessarily see
that. With a full
we'll see in just a second. Nope, he came out of Yep, he just came out on mediums, so Leo probably set to go for the rest of the race. We did see some drivers just about run out of fuel on the last one, so there's no guarantee that 100% is going to make it the whole way. We'll have to see how that shakes out. Ooh, a 3.5 second penalty.
Ooh.
Must have gotten a pit road penalty that I don't think we caught right as he was coming out, but 3.5 seconds.
Road plus another. Mr. Casual, how are things looking from your perspective?
I just got past Amarillo at the top of the mountain safely, so haven't had any real bad luck with the GT3s yet. But all things considered, I would say I'm happy with where I'm at this moment. Whether I say in the podium spot at the end, we'll see, since obviously y'all were talking about Leo going on to the mediums, so we'll see where things shake out.
We will, as Leo is going to serve this 3.5 second penalty. Very brutal, but he's so far ahead of Nuke that it doesn't matter, as he leads the Group 1 racing. So he is bringing up the rear. Nuke currently in P1 of Group 3 and P8 overall, just getting passed there by Mr. Casual.
And Amarillo Dash, look at me in P2. Nuke's got a healthy 9.4 second lead ahead of him, and Amarillo Dash with a 17-second lead over Metal. Most of these Group 3 cars are kind of on an island. If we check back in with the front, Wether Dan has closed the gap to Corridor just a little bit. I do believe that gap was 10 seconds. He's gotten it down to 8. So starting to whittle away at that time that Corridor's got up at the front. Still a long ways to go, but continuing now down to 7.5 seconds. So Wether Dan certainly coming down the mountain as he comes, quite a bit faster than Corridor has.
Beat me to it. Wether Dan
that,
coming down the mountain when he comes. Yeehaw! Wether Dan coming down the mountain when he comes. Now Johnny Boy is chasing S7R's new as they coming down the mountain when they come.
You should have said S7R was racing. You had a rhyme all queued up. But
I messed it up. Ruined it. Damn it, Jim.
All right. As we're back on board with VK2, Johnny Boy having a decent run with his first time on the wheel. Impressed he's been able to hang out in P4. Fernando Button not far behind, though. This is one of the closer battles we have on track right now, with Fernando just trying to get into that slipstream range. Fernando's been, nice and steady this race. We have seen, some issues in qualifying and stuff like that with Fernando. He seems to be a bit hit or miss, but today, right now, he actually seems to be putting on a nice performance. Really just outside of that slipstream. If he can catch up another, 10th or two, might be able to start closing that gap with that extra bit of boost you get.
Indeed, and Leo, having already pitted, now bringing up the rear of the Group 1 cars, but we saw he was up in the top. It'll be interesting to see when these other drivers pit. We're now 24 minutes into the race, almost to the halfway point. We'll see how it comes out. But Leo on the racing mediums, getting by Metal. Metal currently in P10, not pitting yet on the racing mediums. Half a tank of fuel left remaining. Casual, where are you? What's your tire? What's your fuel?
I'm at Force Elbow, and let's see. I'm at 58% fuel, and tire wear front right seems to be about midway. So most of my tires, apart from my front left, look to be about 50%.
Okay, so when you come into pits, are you going long to soft? Is that where we're at?
I kind of haven't decided totally, because by the time I probably need to come in, it'll be dark. So I'm kind of on the fence at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, with it getting dark, those softs might last a little bit longer, but you're probably, I would imagine you got to make it at least to, the 35-minute mark in order to, if you want to do the math evenly, it'd be 40 on mediums, 20 on softs, minutes that is. But with the nighttime looming, maybe you could cut 5 seconds or 5 minutes off it. That does mean you need to run another 10 minutes on these racing mediums. We'll have to see how that goes.
And you can see, Corridor unable to get by Tommy Turismo. Just nowhere to go. I didn't see anything wrong from Tommy. Sure, he could have left a little bit more room, but Tommy doing what he's supposed to do and just being consistent, holding his line. This is the opportunity now. Corridor should be able to get by Tommy here, Sal.
Yeah, we saw what we were talking to Mr. Casual there. Corridor had actually extended that lead back up over 8 seconds, but has lost most of that. Is now under 7-second lead over Wether Dan. So getting stuck behind Tommy certainly affected him quite a bit. Wether Dan likely to catch Tommy in an easier passing zone. May allow him to get caught up a little bit more, but certainly a little bit of a shakeup there at the front. We'll have to see if that rattled Corridor at all. But knowing Corridor, and a former NRL champion, certainly knows what he's doing and probably keeps a cool head, even when trying to battle with the other traffic.
For sure, as Wether Dan in P2, going back to Leo in P7, bringing up the rear, having been the early pit stopper, and he has damage to the front right. Amarillo Dash with a half-second penalty up ahead will get out of his way. I imagine Leo gets by before the penalty. Sure enough, he does, and that damage will clear quickly. Mr. Casual still in P3. Where are you on the racetrack? Okay, I see you coming into turn 2.
Mm-hmm. And Fernando Button into the pits. Looks like he's going to get off those mediums right around the halfway point. I would imagine he will probably go on to another set of mediums and fuel this thing up. Seeing as how we got 32 minutes to go, it does look like he does add a splash of fuel in. Comes back out still in P5. Jack Skellington right on him, though. Looks like Jack's going to have a run. I don't know if he's going to be able to clear him by turn 2 here. Looks like he's not. But Fernando's going to hold on to that position and now has the fresh tires. Leo catching up to Jack a little bit as well. Ever so slowly, still 7.3 seconds back from Jack. It looked like Leo was struggling a bit, having switched over to those medium tires after being used to the softs for those first 20 or so minutes there. But, trying to work his way back up. Is now eating into that lead a little bit more, down to right around 6 seconds. So certainly getting up through the mountain here a little bit better. His tires are going to be fresher than the rest of the field for a while, so is going to have an advantage all the way up until everybody else pits. And now he's caught Nuke right at the downhill section. He's going to have to remain patient here. He gets on down, just follows him behind Nuke. Nuke just running his line as he's supposed to. Leo hoping to get a good exit here. And we'll rock it by Nuke. Nuke getting out of the way, as he should have.
I'm so curious where Leo's going to end up, because Leo definitely did the alt strategy. So I'm really curious after the rest of these Group 1 drivers play it out, where Leo pans out amongst all of this.
Yeah, I mean, he's not very far behind Jack, but yeah, that's a good reminder that Jack has not pitted yet. So he's not really in a race with Jack at this point. So even when he catches him, it's going to be a matter of whether he just kind of conserves some of the resources he has here, tire and fuel, or whether he tries to make that pass. As we go on with Nuke here, who's still leading the Group 3 charge with a healthy 14-second lead. So he's continuing to increase that lead. And I just noticed the back of his car, he's also got the eyeballs over the mouth on the right-hand side with the claws.
Oh, that's really sick.
That's a really cool livery he's got there. Using the traditional red, white, and blue Sector 7 racing colors, but adding a little monster dash to the back of his car. That's pretty cool.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 would recommend medal going into the pits in Group 3 as well.
He is down to 38% fuel. Probably hoping to make it the rest of the way this time. We get on board with Better Dan. Still about an 8-second gap to Corridor, so very much a yo-yo effect happening here, where he runs down Corridor by a second or two, and then Corridor seems to either find his groove, or Better Dan loses his groove. I mean, looking at his times on the right, they look to be fairly consistent. Lap 18 was a little bit slower. It may have been why it yo-yoed a bit, so let's see. If we go on board with Corridor, looking at his times, well, his times are very consistent. Other than lap 14, there he had a 1:55, but otherwise it's 52s and 53s pretty much across the board. Corridor definitely a driver of efficiency. Trying to extend that lead ever so slightly. It's now a little bit further above 8 seconds. He's got a really clean racetrack ahead of him. He's going to be able to go down the mountain without any issues. The next car ahead, I'm not sure who it is, but probably won't be catching them on this straight, but might be getting them after turn 1.
Indeed, and that's something with endurance races. Like, they don't know how many laps. The laps are determined by your pace, and we're seeing here Corridor putting the pace down, getting the laps put out, as we see on board with K-Dubs bringing up the rear of Group 3, driving up the mountain here in this mountain.
Our Group 3 leader, Sector 7 Nuke, has gone into the pits, and PHG's Amarillo Dash in P2 also in the pits. Again, just past the halfway point, looks like they're going to get off these medium tires, put a fresh set on.
You think it's softs?
I don't. I think they're probably going to be on mediums, but we will see once they finish fueling and head out. Nuke just being released from pit road, heading on out. He is on mediums for a second stint.
All right, interesting. We saw some differences in that first set, and we saw Leo definitely doing a different route. What is Amarillo Dash going to do as he refuels? What kind of tire? He was on the mediums. He comes out also on the mediums. All right, you're right. You're right, Sal.
Yeah, well, they still have well over 25 minutes left to go. It would be a little difficult to make a set of softs last that whole time. So it looks like they're just trying to maximize their tire wear. I'm sure they were probably just starting to feel those tires start to give out, which is why it was time to come in and get something else. We go up to P7 and Leo. It looks like he is caught all the way up to Jack Skellington, all over the back of him. Definitely fresher tires, but more fuel. It'll be interesting to see if he can make this pass happen as they get through turn 1. This would be the chance if he can get a good exit. Should be able to slingshot around Jack. There isn't going to be much Jack can do if Leo gets the exit. Leo's was just slightly better. He really needs to tuck into that slipstream, though, if he's going to try to get around him. Looks like it may have been too little too late to get into the slip. He's just going to hang in behind. And maybe this is his strategy, just to try to conserve some of his tire, conserve some of his fuel. Maybe that 100% fuel he put in, he realized wasn't quite going to get in the distance if he could just get a little bit of slipstream. Oh, we have a yellow flag up here. I think it was K-Dub had gone around in
K-Dub
P12.
P12.
Not sure what happened with him. See if we can catch a replay of that.
In the Mazda Tenza. Yeah,
It looks like
it
our
seems-
replay is not working. It appears that we must have solar-powered replay. As soon as it gets to be dark out, the replay goes into hibernation. So you'll have to trust us that K-Dub had an issue and the 2 Group 1 drivers got past cleanly, and that's all she wrote on that.
Looking at you, Cass.
And there
but
he loses it coming down the mountain. Takes a little bit of damage. Keeps it pointed in the right direction, though.
It's interesting, Leo being so conservative, considering he started ahead of Jack Skellington, but willing to be patient. You know that's hard. You know you started ahead of a driver, and now you're behind him. To be patient like Leo's being patient is pretty impressive. But great driving all the way around here.
Oh, and there we go. Jack going in the pits. So that's what Leo was waiting for. He knew a bunch of these drivers and their strats was to get just a little bit past the halfway point and then go into the pits. Now that we're under that 25 minutes, it's possible Jack can come out on softs, but he's going to have a bit of a long road to climb to catch up to P5 in Johnny Boy. Once Johnny Boy pits, at this point, that's who he's going to be racing against. We just got to wait for the pit stop.
Johnny Boy has to have pitted already because he's on fresh meat.
Oh, you're right. You are absolutely right. So Leo is in the fight with Johnny Boy. Leo now having the superior tire advantage, he has the same tires, but has virtually no wear on them, whereas Leo has run for 15 minutes on these? So
yeah, he's been out for a hot minute. So good on Johnny Boy on the strat as Leo goes into the wall. And I'm curious, Fernando B in P5 has not pitted yet. Is that correct?
He has pitted. Fernando Button is running on racing mediums. Jack Skellington does come out on the racing softs.
But we see blue lights here. What's behind Jack? Surely not Corridor. Oh no, that's P2 of Vetterdan. P2 of Vetterdan. It gets by Jack. Jack Skellington having been lapped. Oh my goodness. Casual, what's going on? Give us a live play.
I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere at the moment. I think there's some triangles on the track map further up the road, but at the moment I'm just been having some clean running lately.
All right. Happy days for Casual.
The top 3 drivers have not pitted. So Corridor, Vetterdan, and Mr. Casual. That's probably one of the reasons why we had, Jack Skellington got lapped. Once these 3 at the top come into pit, Jack will likely unlap himself, but he again is going to have a long ways to go to try to catch up to Leo.
Fernando has pitted or not?
He has. He has really fresh racing mediums and just under a half a tank of fuel.
Okay. So
but he is 51 seconds back from Mr. Casual.
This is going to be interesting. Corridor, Vetterdan, everybody's staying out.
BK2 Johnny Boy in P5 is being held up by Metal heading up the mountain. Fernando Button had gotten around Metal before, or actually they're coming. Yeah, they're going up the mountain. BK2 Johnny Boy just having to be patient. Looks like he's going to get around them just as they get into the braking zone heading down the mountain. Again, going to continue to hunt down, I believe, his old teammate in Fernando Button. I believe they were both BHR at one point.
Wow. Yes.
Here they are coming around that final turn at the bottom of the mountain onto the long straight. It's like he's got a 2-second gap to make up, but there's still 21 minutes left to go.
21. Fernando B coming up to Nasty and Megadeth with Johnny Boy just behind. This is benefited Johnny Boy. Get out of the way, Nasty. Johnny Boy up through, and that is done. He's able to hunt down his former teammate.
Yeah, Nasty held up Fernando there for a little bit, just enough for Johnny Boy to really get caught up. He's on his bumper now. And on the straightaway here, if he can get a good exit, but tried to have too good an exit, lost the rear end, and is going to have to now spend a few laps battling back.
That's so easy to do.
Fernando getting away for a bit. Let's see, top 3 drivers still all haven't pitted. Better Dan, though, in P2 has caught up the Corridor. Corridor currently heading into the pits. Oh, no, overshoots it. Overshoots it. Better Dan stays out. He's going to go another lap. I'm pretty convinced these top 3 drivers are all going to do the medium soft strategy at this point. Now that we are under 20 minutes to go, Better Dan pushing these mediums, hoping to maybe have some clean air. And maybe that'll do it.
Casual, when are you coming in? Spill the beans.
Thinking of the next couple laps. But
I think I'm going to... That's not specific.
I think I'm going to go on softs.
All right.
Oh, Fernando had a big issue. Fernando in P5 had a big issue. He has front end damage, and both of his front right tires were damaged. BK2 Johnny Boy had gotten around him, but then Johnny Boy had an issue at the bottom of the mountain. Does not have, or does have front end damage, but only has 1 tire damage. So he was able to pull away on the straight here. Fernando's damage is just getting healed up now. And it looks like the fight is on between these two. But they both, I mean, we said this before, like one driver has an issue, and if you're within eyesight, there's just something mental about it that causes you to have an issue as well, and that's exactly what happened between those 2 drivers.
There's a magnetic field, man.
Yeah, I'm just checking in with Corridor. He has a 3.5-second penalty, so definitely got a pen trying to make it into the pits. But as we go on with S7R's Nuke, who's still leading the Group 3 category now with a very healthy 24-second lead. Nuke really putting on a clinic in this one over Amarillo Dash, who also has a healthy lead over P3. Here we go, BK2 Johnny Boy still trying to hold on to that lead over Fernando Button as they head up the hill, getting around Fernando, or around Amarillo Dash, but Fernando losing it, trying to get around that left-hander, spins up the rear tires, and damage again. Man, it's a good thing we have light damage in this one. Leo doing the exact same thing in the exact same spot, only he didn't hit the wall. Looks like he had hit the wall before that, though, because he had some damage otherwise. But it looks like we lost Tommy Turismo. Engine failure combined with brake failure equals DNF.
R.I.P. Tommy. R.I.P. You can see Corridor all over the back of Jack. This is lap traffic. Should be able to get by no problem here, but Jack wanting to stay on the lead lap. Jack no, there he goes. He lets him by. Good on Jack, but he's not making it easy. Corridor needs to show his dominance, and there it is. Corridor getting back by. Better than currently leading this race, but still needing to pit.
Yep, he is just heading down the mountain. He's getting onto the long straight. I would imagine he has got to be coming in real soon, unless he's trying to do it as a no-stopper. But 16 minutes to go, I don't think those tires are going to last. I mean, he's going to have to come in soon, because he's going to start just bleeding time to Corridor here. Corridor is putting in more laps on the softs.
Yeah, but he's 28 seconds ahead. He's 28 seconds ahead. Casual, how far are you off the lead?
Yep.
No, here he comes.
Here he comes.
But still, Casual.
To Dan is just under 40 seconds.
Okay.
But I got a 3-second pin, pit lane pin.
Pit lane pin. You're not alone. You're not alone. I see what you did there.
There we go. Mr.
Corridor.
Casual up in P3. BK2 Johnny Boy still 41 seconds back. Looks like those top three really with the strategy of the night.
Oh,
Better running
Vetterdan.
away with the rest of it.
Oh, I didn't expect that. Vetterdan comes out ahead of Corridor. That is Vetterdan into the race lead. That is
Remember-
Vetterdan going from P6 to P1.
Remember, Corridor had the pit road penalty, whereas Vetterdan did not. And I wonder if Vetterdan was doing some fuel saving and was able to spend a lot less time in the pit, not having to add any fuel, and is now out on the freshest set of soft tires on the track and hoping to hold on to a 6-second lead. That's a pretty big lead with only 15 minutes. We got a quarter of this race yet to go. A lot can happen.
Wow. I didn't expect that at all.
Neither did I. Neither did I. But Mr. Casual,
I'm going to say Nuke is leading the Group 3. He started on pole in the Group 3. And he's got a big gap on Amarillo Dash, who started third in Group 3. So Amarillo Dash has moved up one. Metal has moved up quite a few. Metal started P12, now P10. Interesting. It's amazing how when you go more than 20, 30 minutes, how a race can really play out.
right. I mean, there's times where it gets really stretched out, but it's always so amazing to see them all come together at the end of such a long race. Mr. Casual easily getting by K-Dub on the straight there, and has gone purple.
Too.
Mr. Casual on a tear right now.
Get some. Needs a 151.0.
Spun up the rear tires a little bit there, probably lost a little bit of time, but he comes into the last corner. Let's see if he takes the fastest lap. Corridor, our current fastest lap holder. And he does by half a second.
Damn.
Mr. Casual on the move. 15 seconds behind Corridor, needs to catch him a whole second a lap to try to make that one up. But there we go.
It's going to be hard not to give it to Casual here or Vetterdan, but while we got all these cars going back and forth, let's crank it up and enjoy the sound of these engines. And I hope you all enjoyed the ear bleeding of these crazy Group C and Group 3 cars. Wether Dan leading the way. I mean, I didn't see this coming. I know what Wether Dan's capable of. I know he has an asterisk next to his name because he didn't put a time down, but man, is he doing a great job, Sal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's used some strategy to get himself up into P1. We were watching that Corridor was kind of slowly catching him while we were away on that crank it up, but now Corridor got caught with some lap traffic there at the top of the hill, and Wether Dan's been able to extend that lead back to over 7 seconds. With only 9 minutes to go, time is running out for Corridor to run him down. We've seen Corridor have the speed. As he was catching him, it was looking like, if I was doing the quick math in my head right, he was gonna catch up to him, and he was gonna be there, and we were gonna have a last lap battle. I think at this point, if both drivers stay clean, I don't think he's gonna be able to get there. But we'll have to see how this goes. We have seen Wether Dan hit the wall a couple times and take some damage throughout this race, so they just need to be steady. Mr. Casual there in P3. I know we checked in with him. He's got a healthy lead over Johnny Boy, but losing some time to Corridor, but probably has a solid podium going for him. BK2 Johnny Boy in P4, having a solid race. Once again, his first league race in a wheel, or on a wheel, I should say. Up in P4, having a good, solid race, has extended his lead over Fernando Button, who is now 5 seconds back, also having a good, clean race this time around. Yeah. Leo on the reverse strat back in P6 just hasn't quite been able to make that reverse strat work for him. It looked like he was going to be able to make up some time, but a couple of wall taps here and there has him mired back in 6th place. With a healthy lead over Jack Skellington, though, who's back in P7. Not having the race he would like to have, but still out there giving it his best.
And we saw Leo had a bit of damage there as well, so clearly a few wall taps. Unfortunate, but S7R's new with a dominant lead of the GT3 cars. Almost 30 seconds ahead of PHG Amarillo's dash. Very nicely done. Amarillo dash, though, going almost half a second better than his fastest time of lap 21 of a 205.684. Then Metal quite a ways behind him, so pretty far spread out of the Group 3 cars.
Yep, it's really been that story from the very beginning. These Group 3s, there's really been no battling back here. Everybody's been on a race of their own, which has allowed for the Group 1 drivers to get around fairly cleanly. We've seen some of them get caught up just a little bit as K-Dub loses the rear end there, gathers it up, but now is going to be holding up Nasty. I guess this is the fight. PHG Nasty getting the battle, getting the pass done on K-Dub, who was struggling in those couple of corners. I didn't realize we had a battle going on here at the back, but Nasty taking advantage of the mistake by K-Dub, getting the pass done cleanly, and just trying to pull away at this point.
Hashtag not last, and good to see Nasty not in a booty sweat mobile. So taking up some new sponsors there from Nasty and the Mazda, the lone Mazda Screaming Eagle here.
Well, I believe it does say booty sweat on the side.
Oh, no, there it is.
It just says Megadeth on the back.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Look at me being dumb, thinking that Nasty went away from booty sweat. Booty sweat.
Oh, geez, and Corridor up in P2 just went flying past Leo. Leo had a big problem at the top of the hill. It's too bad we aren't able to get the replay of that, but there was a bit of a hairy moment there. Leo's having a problem. Those racing mediums are starting to wear. But Corridor up in P2 was to about a 5-second gap to Wether Dan. Had closed 2 seconds while we were watching that battle in the back, and then had a little bit of a scrape of the wall, and then that scare with Leo. We are now under 5 minutes left to go with a 5-second gap to Wether Dan. Wether Dan just needs to be as steady as he can and should be able to just hold on to this lead. Oh, looking at his fuel, though, he's got that fuel all the way down. We were talking about this during the Crank It Up break. Wether Dan really likes to, run that fuel all the way down to fumes, and he's doing it again this time. What do you think, TK? Is he actually going to make it these last 5 minutes?
From what we saw last race, I think he's going to be okay. We saw several drivers towards the end start flashing red, and we saw even some who looked like they were going to be out of fuel make it to the end. But that being said, he's less than 5 seconds off Corridor. So this is Corridor's opportunity. What does his fuel look like?
Corridor's fuel looks great. He's still got an 1/8 of a tank left. So he is not blinking. He caught Wether Dan almost the whole half second. He was purple in the first sector. Corridor was.
I don't know if that's enough time. I gotta think
Wether Dan's doing a little bit of fuel saving. But I mean, it's all a matter of who can be the smoothest, yet still the fastest. We got 3.5 minutes left to go. 4.5 seconds. I mean, if you're doing a second a lap, we're starting to fall into the range where you have to do even more than that. So it may just be too little, too late. But he can see him on the long straight. Corridor can see Wether Dan up ahead.
And look at these lap traffics. If he catches the cars at the right time, it could all play in Corridor's favor. But it seemed like Wether Dan got through those two drivers, no problems.
Yep.
It's a long way off. It's gonna be. Could it happen? Yes. Will it happen? I don't know.
Well, because these two are still battling for position. Corridor gets around Nasty okay. He's going to catch K-Dub here in the corner. Oh, does clear him before the corner. God, that lead to Wether Dan is now under 4 seconds. He's continuing to catch him. Even though Wether Dan has all the clean air, 3.5 seconds. Wether Dan's got to be fuel saving. Two and a half minutes to go, and a 2.5 second gap. Oh, guys, this is going to come down to it. I love it. This is the best.
I love it, but I don't. It makes my insides go.
I can hear the Jaws music. Yeah, Mr. Casual's been quiet here. He's 19 seconds behind Corridor. Just running his race.
I want to hear.
I'm about 2 laps of extra fuel, so yeah, just been trying to make sure I don't clatter into anyone, and it's been going fairly well. Yeah, I wasn't really sure how much fuel I needed at my pit stop, so let me just overfuel just to be safe.
1.5 minutes to go. That gap is down to 1.5 seconds. Corridor's going to get the slip before we get to the end. They're only going to have 1 lap left. They're going to cross the start-finish line. There's going to be a 1-lap sprint to the end. The Corridor may not even let Wether Dan keep the lead for this last lap. He has caught him. He is on him. I don't know if there's anything Wether Dan's going to be able to do. I think he didn't fuel enough.
Yeah.
Corridor's got
to
20.
hold him off. I mean, it is 1 lap, but no, on this next straight, it's going to be all Corridor.
Well, I mean, Wether Dan passed any fuel saving he was doing. He would have had to have stopped. And Corridor, getting it done. Because there's no way Wether Dan's going to be able to hold him off on the long straights, especially if he's in fuel save mode. Wether Dan might be able to use the slipstream, though, at this point. Keep it in fuel save mode. Save just enough to be able to do one last lunge at the end. We know that on the long straights, being in second place is the ideal spot. Oh, but Wether Dan goes deep.
No, he goes deep.
He goes deep. That is going to give Corridor a heck of a lead as long as Corridor doesn't make a major mistake. This is his race to lose.
All right, Casual. This is your chance. You only get 1 shot.
Right.
The fact that you and Wether Dan are going to be on the podium is very impressive.
Yeah, I was not expecting a podium at all.
Yeah, considering you did have, quote unquote, the advantage of watching the race, but anybody could have watched the race.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that you were brave enough to jump in here and give it your all, as we see Amarillo Dash gonna finish it P9. That's gonna be good enough for P2 overall in Group 3.
Yep. Now
Jack
that
Skellington across the line, P7.
I was watching that battle at the back. It looks like that one has tamed down. There's a 4-second gap between K-Dub and Nasty, so that battle may be over. But Corridor is still trying to just hold on to it at the front and try to maintain
Come on,
that
Better
lead.
Dan.
No big mistakes. Corridor
Here we go,
is
Corridor
getting to the
across the
start-finish line, along with Metal,
Yes,
to take the overall lead. Congratulations, Corridor.
Wow.
Better damn what could have been if he did not have to go into fuel save mode, but comes home on the podium in P2. Mr. Casual coming in fresh off the bench, finishing off in P3.
Now, I gotta
Goodness me.
say, if you haven't felt like a lead comms guy by now, you should feel like a lead comms guy.
I'm getting more
'cause
comfortable.
You absolutely crushed it tonight. I gotta say, I've thoroughly enjoyed. I've done this a lot, and I felt like I needed to talk. And in these races, I felt like I could just be quiet. And you absolutely crushed it, dude.
Thank you. As we watch these guys finish, I do see Vetterdan in the chat saying he didn't fuel, and a facepalm emoji. So that may have been a mistake. We thought he was being all smart doing that, but it looks as if that might have actually been an error on his part. Worked out well though. Still finished in P2. But our P1 goes to Corridor. Congratulations, taking the victory in Split 3.
GG's.
All right, let's go through the full results. Here, I'll read through it this time. We got, as we said, Corridor taking the overall win. Vetterdan in P2, Mr. Casual P3, BK2 Johnny Boy in P4, rounding out the Mazdas. Fernando Button with a surprisingly clean race in the R92, the first R92 we saw tonight. Well done with Fernando with the P5. Leo with the alternate strat finishing in P6 in the Mazda, and then Jack Skellington rounding it out also in the Nissan. Sector 7's Nuke winning the GT3 category. In the GTR Nismo in P2, we got Amarillo Dash, P3 Metal, P4 K-Dub in an Atenza. I didn't realize the Atenza was actually allowed.
Yeah,
I
Mazda,
hadn't noticed that. Hadn't noticed that the whole race. And then following up is PHG Nasty, and then we had a DNF in Tommy Turismo with a blown engine and a brake explosion.
A brake explosion. Wow, what a night of racing. That was incredible. Casual.
Give us your thoughts on that one.
And bring it home, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to start. I'm going to say driver of the race, Casual. I'm going to go ahead and grab it.
There you go.
Well
That's
done,
fair.
Sir. It's
That's
fair.
fair.
And I say it. Sal, your thoughts on the race and your driver of the race.
You know, I'm going to say Corridor. He had the lead for a lot of the race. Coming out of the pits, he could have panicked, seeing that Vetterdan had a healthy lead coming out, but he kept his wits about him, just kept his head down, and was able to run him down and get the pass done just before the last lap. So, you know, congrats to Corridor for not only pulling out the win, but being able to do it in a nice, steady fashion. Honorable mention to Nuke, who absolutely ran away in the GT3 class. You know, great run from him back there in GT3.
Excellent.
Are we going to give Casual a vote? It seems how he raced in that one.
Because I gave him himself, so now he can vote.
I was going to say
bias of himself.
I was just going to say out of everyone that came across, and like I'm going to have to go with Dan on that one. Because I think we both started towards the back.
Yep, you both did.
And so it was it's especially on this track, it's not easy going from the back. So I was impressed with Dan. I would say I had a few too many mistakes to stay up there with him. But I made the best of my situation, so that's why I'm going with Dan for my pick.
Yeah,
That
really
is a
hard
great
choice
pick.
between Corridor and Vetter Dan for sure. I mean, both of them ran a phenomenal race there. Absolutely. So we've got the poll up in the chat. We'll spend these last few minutes of the broadcast where you guys can put in your votes. I'm anxious
Vote
to see
away.
how that ends up. But man, I mean, TK, you were right. What a heck of a night of racing. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw. I mean, just like at Road Atlanta, I thought we were expecting a lot more carnage, and although there
A lot
was
more
some,
chaos.
we
Yeah.
really didn't have many of those like
No.
grab your popcorn kind of moments that I thought we might. I mean, these drivers, the PHG World Series really brings out, the good in the drivers and really makes people
Yeah.
perform up to, the top of their game. And we certainly saw that tonight for sure. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yes,
Indeed. Indeed.
absolutely.
It is crazy because and it's competitive and people want to win, but it
Mm.
comes out in beautiful real racing as if the drivers understand the consequences if they just send it, which is
Right.
real life racing. Real life
Mhm.
drivers aren't going to send it because their lives are on the line,
Oh yeah.
and you
Right.
don't necessarily get that in sim racing. But when you race respectfully and you think of it that way, that's the type of racing you get, and that is PHG. Great racers, better people. Speaking of PHG, I want to thank our sponsors again. Simnet, please check out Simnet. Use discount code PHGGTWS. Paul Davis, check them out. We got 4D Racewear. Use discount code Papa 10X, and then of course MZC,
MCW.
MZW. We got our mzw.simhardware.com. Thank you so much to our sponsors. And
4D.
then next 4D,
4D.
I'm going to be designing a custom 4D jersey,
Ooh.
and Sal has challenged me to make it as rainbow leopard as possible. So
I just expect it to be
challenge,
strong.
challenge
Strong rainbow leopard.
accepted. Challenge
But
accepted. Next week, y'all, we got 90 minutes. 90 minutes. We've been doing 60-minute races, but it's 90 minutes at the greatest track of all time. Get your Le Mans out of here. Get your Daytona out of here. It is Spa Francorchamps, and it is my favorite track of all time. 90 minutes. I believe it can rain here. I don't know. I haven't talked to the designer, but I know
Shaggy
it can
said
rain.
Shaggy said there were only 2 rain races all season. I'd find it hard to believe that it's not going to. In fact, I think I saw in the Discord, Shaggy said it rains and then it dries and then it rains
Yep.
again, I think is what we're
In
going to be
90
expecting.
minutes. And you know what? As a broadcaster, when things get
Uh,
over an hour, I go, eh. But at Spa, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I love Spa. It is hands down my favorite track. It is what racing is. And I think, in my opinion, all modern racetracks owe Spa to part of their craft.
Spa is
And
definitely a racer's
oh,
racetrack. I mean, there's a lot to go on there. It's very much the opposite of Mount Panorama. You don't have that claustrophobic wall feel. There's room to race. Eau Rouge is always real
mm,
exciting, as people go
mm.
flying through there. But yeah, that's bound to be a fun one.
It's going to be
So
beautiful. So qualifying is the 23rd and 24th of June. That's when you can get your qualifying in, and then the races will be split 1 and split 3 the 26th of June, split 2, split 4 the 27th of June. I will not be there the 27th because I'll be doing autocross, but I expect everyone to show up. Man, Casual, you crushed it doing racing and comms. Sal, I honestly believe you are full on ready to go out on your own and just crush it as a commentator. Papa, you nailed it with the video, with the replays, with what the game was allowing you to do. I love you all. I think you all are great, and thank you so much for letting me to be a part of it. Salamander, I'll let you say goodbye for this
Yeah.
evening.
Before we go goodbye, we did close down the poll for driver of the race. It was a tight battle, just like it was on track between Corridor and Vetter Dan. But once again, Corridor pulls out the win with 50% of the votes. Congrats to Corridor
Nicely.
on driver of the day. But yeah, I want to echo everything you just said. Thanks to you guys, TK's Mr. Casual, for being here and in the commentary booth. Papa running things behind the scenes. Everybody, please remember to like and subscribe to Papa's channel. Also, check out all the channels that each of us have below our names here. You can find me at Salamander MN, TCase at TCase101, and Mr. Casual at the Mr. Casual _. Don't forget the underscore. But definitely come on back. Looking forward to the races next week at Spa. Those are going to be a fun one. Good night from me. This was a great race to commentate and to watch.
Indeed. And we have Split 2 tomorrow for sure, which is going to be pretty exciting stuff. I will be running the broadcast there. Papa will be there. Mr. Casual will be there. And my brother, Augustella, will be making his PHG. No, he already made his PHG debut. This will be his second debut. So exciting.
Encore performance.
Encore performance. Mr. Casual, you did a great job. Pulling out a podium out of nowhere and also running comms. Great job, sir. I'll let you say goodnight to the people.
All right. I usually leave some kind quote, so I'll leave this quote. A wise man once said, "The only thing better than making new friends is keeping old friends."
Double thumbs
well
up.
Said. Well said. Well said. Well, thank you all. Please like and subscribe. We all know Papa, the proprietor. He's the man with the plan. And we're all here because of him. He has brought us together, and his late wife, Susan. The two of them have really created such an amazing thing. And we love honoring her memory and honoring Papa as well with what we do here. Great racers, better people. And I'll just say, later, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Well, PHG family, you stayed to the last lap. Hands up, screens up. One more time for the ride. Turn tonight. You held the line with me through red flags and green light.
Pit lane story, full gas, hot. We chase that finish sound.
Now the last spring fades away,
but we ain't slowing down.
Hear that engine call.
One more roll of thunder.
Keep that fire in your chest.
We're going back under.
PHG World Series Season 4.
We were born for more.
Until next time. We hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roll. Until next time.
We run it back once more.
You saw the slide, you saw the save.
You saw the last lap grin.
Every wheel, the wheel, every close close call.
We felt you leaning in.
The checkered flag don't mean goodbye, just means the night went wild.
Save that spot for the next green. We'll meet you in a while.
When the lights go low and the final screen is glowing,
All that talk, all that heat.
still keeps the whole room flowing.
PHG World Series Season 4.
We were born for more. Until next time, until next time.
We hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roar. Until next time, until next time.
We run it back once more. To every driver who clipped the apex. To every viewer who called the move before it happened. To every late night legend who stayed until the end. You made this more than a race.
You made it a room. You made it a ritual. You made it a reason to come back hungry.
When the helmets come off, the story still rolls.
When the track goes quiet, we still hear you.
So keep your colors ready.
Keep your flag high.
Keep your friends close.
Keep your timing sharp.
Because the next start line is already waiting on us.
Slow it down, let it breathe. Then we rise like a fire. Hands together, heart to heart. Then we climb even higher.
PHG World Series Season 4.
We were born for more. Until next time, until next time.
We hit the floor, we hit the floor.
PHG World Series Season 4. Keep that engine roar. Until next time, until next time.
We run it back once more.
Until next